Hello, welcome to a blockbuster year 1985. Tonight, we're getting weird. We're talking The Complete Al. Let's pop in the tape. Welcome, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I am joined always with my co-host, Jay Ryan. He's here with us.
Hello, everybody.
And tonight, our special guest is 80s life himself. Kurt Crucial is in the house. Welcome to the show, Kurt.
Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm excited.
Thanks for being here, dude.
Excited too. I put out the list to you, Kurt, and you chose this, which made me so happy. Spoiler alert, Weird Al is one of the most important people, I think, in my life, only because I think it is what sort of made me, he taught me what is funny. You know, one of those very, very early influences that
Formative.
I was like, this is funny. So I probably might be a little bit biased when it comes to talking about the art that he's created, but he really is one of my favorite people and so important to me. So I was so excited when Kurt, you said that not only were you a huge Weird Al fan, but you wanted to cover The Complete Al.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many movies, obviously, on that list that I wanted to talk about every single movie on that list. And
yeah, your 80s life, it makes sense.
Yeah,
That's on brand.
85 has so many good movies. But when I saw The Complete Al, I was like, you know what? There's probably not a lot of people that are going to pick that one, and someone who's an Al fan should be doing it. And I'm a lifelong Al fan. I actually at the time had been working on the filming locations for it for a while, so it was all fresh in my brain. And I'm like, you know what, this makes perfect sense. Let's do it. So
wow,
yeah, I'm glad that you are a huge Al fan too, and you were excited about it.
The timing of this, I don't know if you guys collaborated, but the timing of this worked out great with his video and this show. I mean, it's kind of nuts this week.
Yeah. Well, and
yeah,
I'm sure it'll come up as we're talking about the Al, but Kurt's Complete Al Locations video is in the description below. If people haven't seen it, you got to check it out, along with your UHF locations and your Al historical locations video. That's all in the description. A lot of great Weird Al coverage.
Thank you. And yeah, and it wasn't, we did not collaborate. It was complete coincidence. I had been working on every year when the new year comes around, I have a whiteboard where I make a list of the movies that are turning 40 or 30 that year. And last year, The Complete Al was on there, so it was on my list. And there were a bunch of movies that I didn't get to last year, and I tried to do this one like the last 2 weeks of last year. I was like, okay, I'm gonna squeeze it in. And it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, it'll be my first video of 2026. So it'll be my second video. And then I think it all happened for a reason, because then when you sent me that list, I was like, perfect. Now I have a reason to get this done, because we're going to be talking about it. So
a deadline. Deadline helps.
Yeah, it all worked out. So.
What about you, Jay? What is your relationship with Weird Al? It's never come up. I'm curious.
Oh, I would imagine we'll get into it. I don't want to answer right this second.
Oh,
that's weird.
It's not this. Yeah. It's probably not the same as you guys.
That's okay.
I fancy myself a weirdo. But I've also never got Weird Al. But I'm one of those people who can separate the art from the artist. And having thought a lot about it, especially as for 90 minutes today at least, I love Weird Al. I love the
Yeah.
dude. I love him in interviews. I love what he stands for. I like what he represents. Like, I want to hang out with Weird Al. Every time I try to watch anything he's made, it does not jive with me. I'm one of the few people in the world that doesn't get UHF or this
No
movie.
way.
And look at my lifestyle. I should. I live in a TV studio here. I mean, I should really get that. So I don't know. I'm sure we'll get into it. I love Weird Al. I love what he represents. I love that he's an icon of the 80s and this time period, and currently back again relevant.
He's never left, in my opinion. Like the way
like
again,
the big boy.
the way he's kind of just like always been like there as like this comedy icon. And what's funny is like they make a joke in The Complete Al about his like rock and roll legend title, and it's kind of true. Like regardless of whether or not you're a fan of Weird Al, he's never gone away. He's always kind of been relevant, and he's one of those people that is like, like your favorite comedian's favorite comedian, right?
Yeah.
He is so influential to so many of the comedians that are out there making movies and television show today.
Every time I watch something of his, I'm amazed at other stuff that I do know was clearly influenced by this, which predated the stuff that I know, including today.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I very much respect you being honest about it and not trying to, since we were just, gushing about what big Al fans we are, you could have been like, oh yeah, I love him, he's great, but
I kind of do. I kind of do.
No,
like,
I get it, but you were still honest that like, the music and the movies just don't really get it. It doesn't jive with you, and I respect that, and I think that's awesome.
Thanks, man. I'm sorry to be the conflicting opinion here, but I did a little bit of brain research today thinking about it, and I do have a theory, and it's come up before on this show, and I never thought about it with myself, but I'm starting to realize it. I had like somewhat of a traumatic childhood. Things were not like in their place like they should be on paper. And I think that some of the movies that my friends really aligned with, they had pretty solid standard upbringings. And they were loving, here's somebody who's deconstructing and pulling things apart and breaking the rules and moving the line. And I think that maybe because of where I was in my life, I was already in that chaotic what the heck. And it was like, oh, I don't need more of this. I'm trying to survive whatever I'm in, let alone tear it apart. Yeah. And I wonder if that's part of it here 30 years later, now that I'm an adult and, kind of assessing myself.
Yeah.
I wonder if it has something to do with that.
I mean, whether that's true or not, I think you just made it safe that there's no way we can make fun of you now for not liking Al, because
that was the goal. That was the goal.
You connected it with having a traumatic childhood. So now
that's right.
We can't make fun of you.
Yeah,
but,
that's right.
Don't make me bring up my dead wife, Kurt.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I've switched now. I'm not an Al fan anymore. I've switched sides.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I guess I've grown up.
I'm gonna cry. Okay, let's move on. So I was also gonna say that I didn't know that he was like the king of making things uncomfortable on this podcast. It's great. I was gonna say that not only do I respect you for being honest about it, but also I have always said that, okay, so besides being, I love Al, but I'm a huge Prince fanatic. I like gigantic Prince fanatic. And, my whole life, or, the whole time that I've been a Prince fanatic, you get the people that don't get him and they're like, oh, dude, that guy sucks. Just because they've never really listened to him and they don't really get it. And I've always told people who say that, look, if you've ever listened to Prince, for a fact he doesn't suck. It's fine if you don't like his music. That's totally fine with me if you don't get it, but you can't say he sucks. Like you have to at least acknowledge that he is an absolute genius.
Yeah.
It's fine if you don't like it. And, and then I would have that conversation with people and then they'd go, you know what? They'd listen and go, yeah, you're right. He is a genius. I just am not into the music. So I totally get what you're saying about that. You just don't really get Al's music in his movies, but you still recognize that he's a cool guy and he's making, cool art. And
oh yeah. And
definitely
his vibe is rad. Like I get what you guys like.
He's positive.
Yeah.
He's like, he's famously like, straight edge. Doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs, doesn't
Which
smoke,
is amazing with all of the smoking jokes in this movie and everything else. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right.
Right. There's so many things about him that like make him sort of unique, especially in the world of music and touring and that's what's like so funny, I think, about things like The Complete Al, or even like we'll talk a little bit about it, but the Weird, the Al Yankovic story, which is the Roku original movie where Daniel Radcliffe plays Weird Al in a parody of like a music biography, and it gets like insane. It's unreal. If people haven't seen Weird with Daniel Radcliffe, like I highly recommend it because it is crazy funny. But it's like all of that stuff, he's parodying the image of the rock star, and especially in something like The Complete Al, which is essentially a mockumentary with some true facts, but then a lot of made up stuff. Doesn't get quite to the place that Weird, the Daniel Radcliffe movie, gets to, but that he is such a positive, good vibe energy, and I think that is what a lot of people like about him, even in the industry, right? People that work with him know that working with him is such a great experience.
I mean, the fact that he's had the same band from the beginning, that right there, there's not very many bands that are all the same members,
Yeah.
So
40 plus years.
Tells you.
For over 40 years, Weird Al has had the same core band. He's added a couple people over the years for albums and touring, but John Bermuda Schwartz, his drummer, he found working at the radio station. He needed somebody to bang on his accordion case for the cover of Another One Rides the Bus. He's been his drummer ever since. Jim West, his guitar player. Steve J, bass player. It's the same band. And all these guys, they show up in all of these movies and projects. But yeah, there's got to be something special going on when he's got the same guys through these.
In
40
all fairness,
years.
What normally happens to bands wouldn't happen to this one because they're not actually out touring, right? Like
they tour.
Oh, they do.
I think they tour the most. Weird Al has been touring constantly since the 80s.
Didn't know. So that's why I thought he was off the grid. He just wasn't on television. He was out in stadiums and stuff.
He does
always. So you're right.
He tours. He basically tours every few years.
Then you're 100% right. That would rip a band apart normally.
Yeah.
Is the band straight edge too? No drinking, no drugs?
I don't know for sure.
I don't think so, but I don't know for sure either.
Yeah.
That would keep
before we get too far ahead, I do want to say hi to the chat, and then Kurt, there's a little bit of an echo, so you might have to do that volume trick we were doing earlier.
I've got it pretty low, so I don't think it's that, but I'll do it anyways.
All good.
I hear it too, Brandon, but all my stuff's off.
Video Power Gaming is here. Gannon Appleby is here. That's me. Mina Mercury is here. Thank you for joining us. Surfer Girl. Great to see
Jeff
all these
Steiner.
people here. Orguni and Dave. Jeff Steiner.
Uber Yo-Yo. Yeah, and there's some Porsche people here too. Nice. What's up, Dan?
Where are we here?
Uber Yo-Yo is a Porsche guy. Steve
I see
3,
Uber Yo-Yo
too.
right here. Uber Yo-Yo, thank you for joining us. Steve 3, past and future guest. Who else we got in here? Anybody else?
Jeff Steiner. Recognize you from all my live streams.
There we go.
Thank you all for joining us. Oh, Steve's still on the screen. Get off the screen, Steve. Let
me ask you real quick before we go on, because you brought up about the echo. Is everything cool on your end with sound and everything? Because you guys are a little glitchy on my end. So what about
everything? Me? Everything sounds good. I think we're all good.
Yeah,
Okay.
seamless
you're
here
sounding
too.
great. And I think the echo has been fixed.
Cool.
Agreed.
Okay.
I just wanted to say, like, in terms of the touring of Weird Al, another thing is Weird Al is the artist I have seen the most live out of any artist. I've seen him live 9 times, and I'm about to hit number 10 in September when he comes to Vancouver. So I'm
Right on.
yeah, it's he really is very important to me. I wanted to show this. I'm gonna make myself big real quick. This is Weird Al's. This is his second album. This is Weird Al in 3D. This has Eat It on it, which is in the Complete Al. But 3 separate shows I went and I tracked down because it's all the original band. So there's Weird Al signed there. There's Jim West, Steve J, and John Bermuda Schwartz. And this is just me
awesome.
just waiting outside the show and trying to find them as they're on the way to the bus. Like, oh, sign my record. So I got the whole band here, which was
cool.
Which was I was very excited to get that done over the 3 shows that it took me to find all the members.
It's super
Very
cool.
awesome. Very awesome.
Anytime you complete the project like that, it's cool.
Yeah. I am missing his current keyboard player, but he's not pictured on the back of the record, so I didn't get his signature.
Yeah, he wasn't on that record, so that doesn't count.
There you go.
So
all right.
You're about to see him 10 times. What about you? How many times have you seen him? It's going to be 0 for you.
Yeah, Jay. How many times have you seen Weird Al live?
Well, you telling that story made me think to myself, oh, what would that be like? And it would probably just be like I would recognize all the music because, of course, I know the real covers. So it would probably just be like a really badass cover band playing a stadium with some custom stuff. I'd probably love it. Although I have to say, at the beginning of this movie, when he's kind of going off the rails, sort of like Marty
Jimi
McFly
Hendrix?
at the end of Back to the Future. Yeah, exactly. It's probably more Hendrix, I guess.
Yeah, when he sets the accordion on fire. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. That was a little bit nuts for me. I don't need all that. I'm too old for that shit.
Well, but see, like that's he's directly parodying the Jimi Hendrix setting the guitar on fire. That moment, I actually have. I wanted to talk about it because I think it gets out of hand. I think they didn't expect the accordion to catch fire when it hits the. I don't think they call it like the sails or whatever for the actual like the fabric. It goes up in flames really fast, and that flame is tall. So and the way you see Al like grab it and flick it, I think it went a little bit crazier than they thought it would. Yeah.
That's a good observation.
I didn't think about it, but yeah, that's probably true. I'm like I said in my video, I don't know where they shot that. You can tell I don't think it's at a real concert, so I'm just guessing that was in a studio somewhere. But yeah, they probably just
if it could have been at the Greek on the stage, right?
I mean, I don't think it doesn't look like it. I think it was probably most likely just in a studio. I don't think that was really part of a live performance. But,
well, I don't think it was part of a live performance, but they were there at the Greek. They could have potentially used the stage to shoot that scene, but I definitely don't think it's part of a live show.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I will say this, good point, Brandon, because an accordion is essentially just a bellows. Yeah. It's just pushing air around. So that would, if you had an accordion and it lit up, of course it would.
Just fabric in the middle, right? So like, yeah. And he's covered it completely in lighter fluid.
Right.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. So The Complete Al is not a theatrically released movie. It was a Showtime TV special. It premiered August 7th, 1985, in actually a condensed 60-minute version. The version that you probably watched, Jay, and I'm sure you watched, Kurt, the version that I've shared
the one
on our socials is the hour and I guess it's an hour and 40-minute
40
version. Yeah. The Complete Al is directed by Jay Levy, who is actually Al's manager. He's been Al's manager for 40 years. Another reason to just show you what kind of person Al is he's had the same manager for 40 years. Fun fact, I don't know if you know this, Kurt, but Jay Levy, the director and Al's manager, is actually who plays Gandhi in UHF.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Give me a steak, medium rare.
Medium rare. No laughter at all from Jay Ryan over here.
Yeah, he doesn't get the reference.
I don't get the reference. But I love a Gandhi eating a steak.
Gandhi ordering a steak. I mean,
yeah, no, I get the comedy there for sure.
Yeah, it's the trailer for Gandhi 2. He's a badass mama jamma.
Eating cows all over the place.
The film is co-directed by Robert K. Weiss, who is not normally a director. He's actually usually a producer. And these are just some of the films that he's produced. Blues Brothers, Police Squad, the TV show, which then he ended up producing all the Naked Gun films, Nothing But Trouble, a film
Your favorite.
A film that I love. Tommy Boy in 1995 is a Robert K. Weiss production.
Love Tommy Boy.
And then he gets involved with Saturday Night Live and Paramount, so he's doing Night at the Roxbury, Superstar, Ladies Man, the Tim Meadows film, and then does Scary Movie 3 and 4. So, very involved in the comedy world. If you're co-directing a made-for-TV Weird Al mockumentary and then going on and finding and producing some of the best comedies of the 90s, for sure, 80s and 90s.
For sure. Blues Brothers?
Yeah, there's
Jesus.
Not a bad movie on that list.
No, exactly, and that's pretty much like.
I would argue he was involved with
cherry pick. I was just gonna say normally I cherry pick, but I was like, oh my god, this guy has produced some of the best movies.
Wow.
What were we gonna say, Jay?
Nothing important. You mentioned the Saturday Night Live connection, starting after Tommy Boy, but I would include Tommy Boy, obviously, and then back it up even to Blues Brothers.
Yeah, you're right. Technically, Blues Brothers is an SNL movie, and so is Tommy Boy. Because Tommy Boy was written by I'm blanking on their names. I believe they're a writing duo. Oh, Bonnie and Terry Turner. They were writers on SNL, and they wrote Tommy Boy for Spade and Farley.
Right. But it's Lorne produced, isn't it, too?
Yeah, it's Broadway Video, Lorne, SNL, Paramount, that deal that he had going on at that time. All of those Wayne's World, Tommy Boy, they're all Paramount movies.
Of course, Wayne's World. Duh. Forgot who I was talking to.
And I get Blues Brothers, that would be the first SNL connected movie, no?
It technically is the first SNL movie, yes. Yeah. 1979.
I mean, probably at the time. Yeah, at the time, they probably didn't think, they didn't think there was going to be a whole bunch of SNL spin-off movies. It was just one thing they were doing. But yeah, I never thought
I think they were amazed that show was on the air for 5 years. I think they were, I think Lorne thought next year when he was leaving that the show would go to hell.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it sort of did, but it didn't kill it.
Yeah. When did he leave again? He left 85, 84, because we covered that weird year that he's gone.
80. He was only there 5 years, and then he left. So 80 to 84 or 5.
Oh, yes. Sorry, you're right. Because he left for a number of years and then came back after that 85 season when we talked about it, when they set everybody on fire and they only save John Lithgow. Not John Lithgow. John Lovitz.
No, John Lovitz. The weird year. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, the weird year.
I didn't even know he left. I didn't. Yeah, I had no idea he left the show. How long was he gone?
5 years. And the other,
that,
if you watch the SNL movie that Jason Reitman just did, the other guy who he's more of like the network yes man guy
Dick Ebersol.
Correct. Dick Ebersol is the guy who actually took over, started running the show, and it was just sort of paint by numbers, and you can feel the difference in tone. Yeah,
Dick Ebersol.
You need the madman at the helm, Yeah.
Dick Ebersol was the guy that was between he was the gopher between the NBC heads and executives and Lorne, right? And so then when Lorne
he was supposed to be the Lorne Wrangler, basically. He was sort of hired to be the Lorne Wrangler.
I'm actually really excited. There's a new Lorne documentary that's out right now. It's not in any theaters near me, but I'm sure it'll be coming to streaming. But I'm really looking forward to watching this Lorne Michaels documentary. Because they apparently filmed for 2 years at SNL. I think a couple of years ago. So it's a more modern cast, but for me, as like a comedy fan and a big SNL fan, I just love watching them and their process, their writing process, the fast turnaround, all the different departments, getting all of that, the sets and costumes done for a sketch that's basically written Wednesday, and they have Thursday and Friday to get all this stuff done. It's insane how that show has lasted over 50 years now.
It was always amazing to me. Like on Wednesday, they're talking about the sets and whatever, and then they're building them that night in Queens, and then on Thursday morning they're bringing them into the studio.
Yeah,
and we were like,
unbelievable.
What? Or Friday morning, we were like, what? How does that even happen? It's crazy.
I feel like being part of that show would just be a nightmare. Just having to, I don't know, just doing what I do, trying to get videos done. You know, like putting out a couple a week. It's like so exhausting. Just couldn't imagine like having to go through that every week, and then once it's done, starting over again and having to produce an entire show in 1 week.
It definitely holds you to a higher standard. And then the funny thing is, you try to take that somewhere else, and then you're like, I don't understand how everybody else. How come you don't do it this way?
Yeah, why is everything so slow?
Yes. And just how come you can't handle all of these complex issues that are just, sort of run of the mill at Saturday Night Live? It was an awesome crash course. It was the first place I ever worked. So it's pretty crazy that everything's sort of been downhill from there. When it comes to that mentality, that old school union, like, we can get it done. We know how to do it. We know a guy. They're all smoking in the stairwells back then,
I had no idea you worked for the show. So
I was a PA when I was a kid, and it was amazing, and I still go back when I'm in New York. But yeah, I mean, I'd hardly say I worked that. Sort of. I was there, yeah. But,
wow, that is awesome. When was that? What years?
Mid-90s. So I was there for the end of Chris Farley, Chris Rock, and Sandler and Spade, and then the changeover to Nancy Walls and Will Ferrell and like Sherry O'Terry and
wow, those are like my favorite.
Molly
years.
Shannon. Yeah, it was 94 to like 97 or something like that. I would still freelance, or no, when my dad died, 96, and then I would go back and freelance afterwards, up until like 99 or 2000 when I moved out here.
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah. What an experience. That's awesome.
It was pretty cool. Just 30 Rock in general. So Conan too. I don't want to make it about me, but like just anything in that building, you sort of learned a certain way. So like your standards are just higher than like, whatever. I sound like such an elitist asshole. I take it all back. Never mind. Fucking Jesus.
No, but it's cool. It's very interesting.
There's a reason I know how to do what I do here. It's because I learned it at 30 Rock, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not the hosting. Cool. I'm terrible at that, but the production of it all, I'm pretty good at.
That makes sense.
Okay, so
back to the show, Brandon. Sorry.
So Weird Al, in 1985, Weird Al is kind of just he's very big. He's very popular. Eat It, his parody of Michael Jackson's Beat It, is a huge song. Reaches number 12 on the Billboard 100, which I believe is his highest ranked single. Years later, his final studio album, Mandatory Fun, which is like 2014, ends up as an album reaching number 1 on the Billboard, which is unbelievable for a man whose funny song music career started in the early 80s to then in 2014 his final contractual studio album to go number 1. It's just that the point that I was making earlier about like how he's never gone away, he's always been around. That's exactly that just goes to show you like how relevant he still was, right?
Yeah, and for singles, forgive me if I'm wrong. Didn't White and Nerdy end up
Oh, you're
becoming
right.
his biggest? Yeah, the Eat It was for the longest time
Yes,
his
you're
biggest
right.
single, and then White and Nerdy knocked that out.
Yes, I can't remember how, but you're right. White and Nerdy from like 2007 parody of Riding Dirty, it did beat out Eat It. You're right.
Yeah.
But at this time, Weird Al is like fresh on the scene. He's this new like comedy icon, and obviously, so his first album, self-titled Weird Al Yankovic. Second album, Weird Al in 3D, as I showed off. But he has his third album coming out in 1985.
That's a funny joke. That's a funny joke. It's a record album in 3D. That's funny.
Yeah, in 3D. So in 1985, he has his third album coming out, which is Dare to Be Stupid. And clearly,
see the hat.
Oh,
Dare to Be Stupid.
I'm old in my eyesight.
That's
I thought
great.
he was just saying no to drugs.
Just a dare hat. Yeah,
it's a double
awesome.
double reference
that is awesome.
for Al.
Awesome.
So clearly there was a correlation between Showtime, CBS Video, and Weird Al, because the Complete Al not only contains some music videos of songs from the previous album, but it also contains the music videos for Like a Surgeon, Dare to Be Stupid. What else is on this album that's new? One More Minute. One More Minutes. So those three are new songs. So this special is kind of in correlation with releasing an album. The album came out, when did the album was released June 18th, 1985, and like I said, this special aired August 7th. So it's like right in conjunction with each other, right?
Well, they shot this thing on Super VHS or something, so I'm sure there was pretty quick turnaround, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like it was shot on TV cameras for sure.
Oh yeah.
Maybe not
VHS. What I'm curious about, and maybe you don't have the answer to this, I didn't know that the original release was like 40 minutes shorter.
Yeah.
Now, the way that I originally saw this was on cable when I was like 6 years old, and we recorded it off TV. And for the longest time, I had that, recorded on VHS that I would watch over and over again. But that's been so long. I've been watching it on the DVD for so long. I don't remember. So do you know what was cut out of the original?
No, I wasn't able to find any sort of original. If you have that tape kicking around somewhere, that would be really cool to see, because I am curious what they did cut out. And my inclination is that it might be some of the stuff at the end of the special, like the Al TV, the MTV Weird Al takeover.
I was enjoying that.
And those are just clips from his takeover of MTV.
At MTV, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That they just put
I guess maybe
into
I remember it.
The longer home video release of The Complete Al. And this may lead where my rating goes, but I do actually think that a 60-minute version might be better, right? I think just tightening this Complete Al a little
but it wouldn't
bit,
be the Complete Al then. It would be the Al missing some parts.
But all you have to do is make a joke about it, and then you can do whatever you want, right?
I was impressed with that. I was impressed with the joke per minute. I mean, they start so quick, even with the FBI warning. I mean,
literally
it happens so quick. Yeah.
I want to show this too, real quick. This is a thing in my collection. This is an original video store poster for the Complete Al. So this shows the VHS. It says "Catch the Buzz," the complete full-length version of the most important home video event, $39.98. But what is so cool about this poster is on the back side of it, they have a warning.
Oh, funny.
And it's a completely printed out version of that warning that appears at the beginning of the Complete Al TV movie. And I love that is just a joke, because if you were putting that poster up in your video store, that would go up on the wall or whatever,
or the window, front window, maybe.
Yeah, but that joke printed on the back is really only for the person who's like looking at the poster and putting it up, right? The second it's on the back side of the wall, like that joke is gone.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't think about it at the wall.
Yeah,
of course.
Because
I was thinking about putting it in the window at a video store, and then you would see the back of it. But you're right. Of course, if you framed it, it would be hidden.
The back side is just blank, right?
Yeah.
All the information's on the front. It's just the back.
Totally. Oh, and it would be upside down anyway. Yeah, you're right. No, that doesn't work. You're right.
It's just a joke for who's ever putting the poster up. But yeah, right out of the gate, there
were so many jokes in that joke, by the way, too. If you read it all, like there were multiple funny jokes. Just even in the way that what was it? I wrote it down because it was so funny. When they talk about the psoriasis. It goes, the FBI warning, and or if you got the heartbreaking news of psoriasis.
Yeah. And see, those are like.
I think he might be turning into a Weird Al fan.
Yeah, that is.
That's what I'm saying. I love the essence of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the and I'm an absurdist. I like it. I don't know. I know.
Maybe you just haven't found the right thing, right? To get you in.
Right, but isn't that the answer? I'm the problem.
Yeah, you are the problem.
Yeah.
I mean, look, a lot of people. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of people who love UHF. I think it's a great movie. It's hilarious.
Oh, all my friends love it.
Oh, it's one of
my
favorite movies of all time.
I mean, all my nerd friends love it. Brandon loves it.
All right. I just feel like I feel like it's a small group of people who really love UHF. So I would understand why, like, you just don't get UHF. I could see.
Robbie Retro's in the chat says he loves UHF.
Of course he does. What's up, Robbie?
Hey, Robbie. Thanks for being here. Welcome to the show. I got my own little Robbie Retro corner over here. I got all my stuff I'm showing off on the show.
Guys, check it out, guys.
Guys, look at UHF signed by Weird Al on red tape.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, my God.
Is that movie really short? That looked like a huge...
Yeah, this
reel
is
with very little tape on it.
This is an EP mode.
Trying to find stuff that I can show off.
Huh.
97 minutes, so average movie length. Oh, there's Gandhi there. There's the director of The Complete Al and Al's manager, Jay Levy, as Gandhi.
So was he the guy who played the manager in this one too?
No, he
does kind of look like that actor. Okay.
Yeah, they do look similar, but no, that was a Barry Cohen, Al's manager in this film. Yeah, is played by a different actor.
Now think about this. You don't really get UHF, like it just doesn't click with you. And the Gandhi thing, maybe you don't get that. But think about being so disturbed that you would drive all the way to Oklahoma from Los Angeles just to go stand in the alley where they filmed the Gandhi 2 scene.
Yes.
I get it.
Like,
so I'm more
how
after
ridiculous how ridiculous is my life that I would drive all the way to Oklahoma to stand in an alley and, pretend to hold a knife to my son's throat. And so, it's just like, what's going on in my life?
No, I applaud everything you're saying. I am 100% full on board with what you're talking about. I drive all around the country and stop at ridiculous stops that are nerd locations for me personally. So I get that 100%.
Yeah. All right.
And I get doing that for movies that I don't even necessarily like because I'm into the art of that.
Yeah.
And was doing it way before there was like YouTube and Facebook and all that other crap. Like I always used to be into film locations my whole life. So now that it's like a freaking whole thing that like there's just such a following for it blows my mind.
Yeah.
I couldn't get anybody to look at that. I mean, I wasn't trying, but to look at that Nightmare on Elm Street house photo that I posted recently with our time machine in front of it.
Yeah.
You know, from 15 years ago or whatever the heck. And that got tons of reposts on social media because I guess you can't do that anymore because there's hedges or something. Right. But it was like, we didn't think anything about it. It was a weird crossover. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When I was younger, I had my group of, maybe there was maybe 2 or 3 of us that I could get, or 3 or 4 of us that I could interest to go out with me to go drive around LA and look at filming locations. And anyone else would just be like, I don't care. Like, why do I want to go look at a house? So yeah,
would you put them anywhere when you were doing that? Because my whole life I've been doing this, but I might have taken a picture or something at the time, but otherwise it was just to see it and be there. There was no YouTube or anything.
No. Yeah, we weren't. I mean, we weren't even taking pictures or anything back then. It was literally just like I'd have a few friends come over. We would pile into my car. Sometimes I would even take a little battery operated Marshall amplifier, and I would mount it in the center console of my car with a microphone, and I would plan out a whole afternoon, and I would drive my friends around LA and just show them all these random spots. And awesome. We never took pictures. It was like you said, it was just about being there. We would just get there, we would get out, and we would just stand there and stare and just be in awe. And that's the one thing I miss about what I'm doing now. I'm so rush that I don't get to enjoy it as much as I used to.
Can't be in the moment.
When I wasn't taking pictures and videos, I would just go just to be there and just stand there and look around and picture, oh my gosh, Corey Feldman was standing over here and Corey Haim was standing over here, and I would just be so excited. But now it's like, okay, Corey Haim was here, Corey Feldman was there, get the shot, get the pic, okay, got to get to the next place, and I don't get to enjoy it as much. So kind of a bummer.
Yeah, but at least there's some result now. In the other days, like in the old days, because I would do the same thing without the Marshall amp, but we would plan out like 6 or 8 locations, and then my nerd PA friends from whatever TV show we were working on would go drive around on the weekends, and it was the best. It was the best. I can't. There's so many places that we went that were still there that are gone now.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
You're making me nostalgic for being younger.
It is funny because not everybody gets the same sensation, but there is something so cool to me about being like, oh my God, they shot this thing here. Especially if it's something that is one of my favorites or important to me. I go oh my God, I cannot believe that this building is still here, or just the excitement of matching things up, that the day that we were down in Pasadena with the Teen Wolf, and we're trying to match up where the van is, the Teen Wolf, the Wolfmobile is driving down the street, and when I spot the railing through the trees, and you can just you can just oh my God, that tree is there, and you can see the branches splitting. It just there's no greater feeling, really.
I'm so with you. Yeah.
It's so exciting.
It's like we're Bitcoin mining with our brain.
Yeah.
It's crunch, and then you find the exact spot where it all works, and you go, oh my gosh, we did it. We locked in. We found it. Does it matter? No. There's no consequence to it. Feels good.
Puzzle piece, right? You're just you're trying to find, and then boom, the puzzle piece clicks in, and you see the shot. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And don't you feel accomplished in that moment?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll be working on 2 or 3 things, and I'll be in the middle of editing something, and it'll be something that okay, I got to get this out by the end of the week. I got to finish editing it, and I'll get kind of, I guess, bored. Just kind of I want to do something else, and the way that I will bring excitement back to me is I'll go start watching another movie and hunting down locations, because finding a new location brings that excitement. So it's all right, I'm going to stop editing for a minute.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to go start picking apart this movie. And then once I find a location that I was having trouble finding, it's that, it's that rush that
you get energized again.
Well,
that's genius.
It's a really good transition to.
Yeah, it is.
Kurt,
but you're dealing with it really well.
Your Complete Al video has like obviously there's lots of locations just because it's not the most popular film. I'm pretty positive you're the only person to do the locations for the complete Al Showtime made for TV special. But
pretty sure. Yeah.
One of the things I love in your video is there's that section where Al is looking for the new look, and there's all those Polaroids of all the different looks that Al is trying out, and then they eventually realize that, oh yeah, the Hawaiian shirt's the best look. And in your video, you find the building that they took the photos of them leaving, him and his manager.
Dude.
And I just love that you're like, I thought it would be on this street. And then I realized, oh yeah, there's a gas station across the street, and you can see that kind of just barely in the background above Al and Barry's head. And just the fact that you were able to find that is so impressive. I'm curious, what is the process for you? Are you just like Google Street View? Are you like using all those tools to find locations, or driving?
So with every single location, it's different. Everything. People always ask me, how do you find locations? And it's every single location. You know, if it's a popular movie, if it's something like Karate Kid, obviously you just Google it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something like Karate Kid, I know where that is because I grew up, you know, in that area. But I'm just saying, popular
movie. Did you grow
movie,
up in Tarzana?
I grew up in Reseda. Yeah. So.
Well played, sir. True or not? Well played.
No, I really did.
Oh, nice.
But
that's cool.
Yeah, but all of the you know, if it's a popular movie, all the locations are already online.
Yeah.
If it's a lot of times, if it's a LA movie, I will just recognize a lot of places.
True.
But
so that's what it is for me too.
But also, there's a lot of searching. Google Maps. There's a lot of searching old newspapers for things. Like we will pick apart a scene and we will look for a sign in the background of a business that's across the street, and then looking through old newspapers trying to find that business.
Never would have thought about that.
No, that's clever.
So when it came to the scene you're talking about, that's one of those ones, like what I was just saying a minute ago, that when we figured out that we had figured it out, it was that feeling that I got, like I can't believe we just figured this out.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were looking, and you know, Melrose, very popular street in Los Angeles that just has all of these clothing stores, and the small clothing store, it just kind of reminded me of it. And you can't even really see the gas station across the street. You can really just see the awning.
The top.
But I recognized it. I'm like, that looks to me. I just automatically thought of Melrose. Yep. And it was a couple days later. There was an event on Melrose. There was this big bike ride on Melrose, and my family, we went to it. Me and my wife and son, and
no coincidence.
We were riding down Melrose, and we're like, hey, let's. Where's that gas station? That old gas station, and we found it, and then we looked, and we're like, oh my gosh, there it is. There are those windows. There's the door. Like everything matched up, and we were all just blown away by it. So yeah, I'm still shocked that we found that.
That must be cool when you find it in person that way. Like anything I've ever found myself, like I find it online first, Google Maps or whatever the heck, and then you go there and you're matching it. But to actually, you know, like be walking around and then to realize it real time, that's only ever happened to me accidentally, never like intentionally, like you're talking about.
Yeah, no, same with me too. Yeah, this was just one where we just happened to be there like a couple of days later, and
it's cool.
We're like, this would be a good time to go match everything up and see, and that's what we did.
That's well played.
Yeah, a lot of the other stuff in that movie was kind of easy for me. Like I recognized the Greek theater right away. I mean, they do mention earlier him playing
they say
the
that it's at the Greek. Yeah, he's playing live at the Greek.
I mean, but they don't tell the truth about most things in that movie. But I did recognize that was the Greek. And Highland Meat Company was kind of hard to find, or not hard to find. We had to search for, like I said, old newspaper articles where it mentioned the Highland Meat Company, and then we found the address.
Well, and that's a good example because that like again, you say it in your video, but the Highland Meat Company is a real company. And
Yeah.
for me, my thought process would be like, this is so low budget that there's no way that they're creating a sign to put on a building that says Highland Meat Company. They're going
Right.
to the real Highland Meat Company and saying, hey, can we throw Weird Al, welcome to Los Angeles, Weird Al on your sign? You know, give them a couple bucks or whatever for the
Right.
inconvenience just to get that
Yeah.
one shot. So
Yeah.
it's very much like in this particular instance, yes, that is a real meat company, and you just have to find that old address information, and then lo and behold, you're like, yep, it all matches up. This was the old location.
Yep. Yeah. I originally thought it was probably in Highland Park, another
Makes sense.
city
Yeah.
here. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Versus
but,
actually
and
on
like-
Highland Avenue in LA. Is that where it was?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. On Highland, like right near Santa Monica.
Gotcha.
And like I said in my video, I'm got to be probably the only person that's ever spent hours searching for the Highland Meat Company. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
it's something that anyone has ever looked for.
Yeah.
But there it is. And then we tried to go. We were going to get really crazy with this one. My son, because I should say my son is an even bigger Al fan than I am, and we can get into that. We'll go back to that, but he really pushed me. He's like, "You're going to do the complete Al, right? 40th anniversary, you got to do it." So he started hunting down all of the stuff in Japan, using maps, hunting everything in Japan. And we have a friend that she's from Japan, and she goes back usually every year. And I was gonna burden her with like, hey, here's a whole list of places.
Go to these spots.
Go take pictures for me. But yeah, he started. I know my son found some of the stuff. I remember it at one point, like me walking through the living room, and he was like stressed out, like, I just can't find this pachinko parlor. Like, again, probably something that like most 16-year-olds aren't stressing out about.
I don't think I've ever heard those words uttered in my life.
That is so funny.
What a sentence.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, such a burden.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't think he never did find that. And now I was like, you know what? Just forget about Japan. We don't have time to do it anyways. Now I kind of wish we did. Maybe there'll be a part 2.
Yeah.
And no one will watch that either.
Well, you mentioned that your son is a big Weird Al fan. You want to talk about that?
Yeah. So it's something that I think is really cool. Well, I'll start with me, how I got into Al. So, I mean, probably similar to you. Actually, I don't really remember how I first got into Al. Probably hearing him on Dr. Demento, and then I do remember that. Well, it would have to be around that same time. I remember being at Licorice Pizza, which was a record store chain here in Los Angeles in the 70s and 80s. I remember being there with my parents. I was probably like 6 years old, and walking over to the shelf and grabbing the Dare to Be Stupid cassette, and then going to my parents and being like, please, you have to get this for me. And that is, I had other, I was a big Michael Jackson fan, like most kids were. So I had all the Michael Jackson albums that had come out so far, and I had Purple Rain, and I had other stuff, Culture Club, but that was the first cassette that I remember going and picking up off the shelf at a record store and begging my parents, to get, can I please get this? And then I just, I was an Al fan for the rest of my life. Really big Al fan when I was a kid. And then when I was a teenager, I kind of got into punk rock and everything. And like that, my focus went to that a little bit. And then, when I was an adult, kind of went back. I never stopped being an Al fan, but, just teenager and focus kind of shifts a little bit.
Move it over. Yeah.
Yeah. And then when my wife and I were dating, Al started playing a lot at the Orange County Fair, and we would go to the Orange County Fair every summer. And I feel like it was for, I don't know how long it was, but maybe 5 or 6 years. Every summer he was playing the Orange County Fair, and we would go. That was the first time I ever saw him, and we would go. And my wife, she grew up very different than me, so she didn't really know much about Al, and she was kind of like, all right, what's going on? But whatever, she thought it was funny,
Yeah.
She didn't completely get it, but she would go with me and enjoy it. And then after our son was born, when he started getting a little older, and I mean like 4, I started introducing him to Weird Al, and he just absolutely loved it and just took off with it way more than I ever did. He started buying, every time we would go to a record store, he would just be looking for any Weird Al CD he didn't have, and he got everything. Dad, I gotta get Poodle Hat, I gotta get Running with Scissors, I got it, and songs that I didn't know, because it was like there was that gap where I kind of stopped paying attention for a little bit. But now all of a sudden, like, my son is talking to me about these songs. I'm like, oh, I don't know that one. Let me go find out about this. And he just became this mega Weird Al fan. And so he would watch like a lot of stuff about Al on YouTube, and there's a couple of I think one of the CDs comes with like a little documentary, a little behind the scenes of them in the studio recording. And I remember him watching that, and my wife, whatever he watched, my wife and I would always watch with him when he was younger to make sure that it was appropriate. And so my wife would watch this stuff with him, and she ended up becoming an Al fan because of that. She was like, wow. She's like, I had no idea. And I think a lot of people have this same, the same thing going on. She's like, I had no idea how talented Weird Al was. She's like, I just thought he was this guy making parodies. And she's like, I had he is crazy talented. Like, watching him in the studio, breaking down the songs for his band. Do you know Brandon?
And so smart too.
Oh yeah, so smart. Do you know the clip that I'm talking about of him in the studio recording the album? I can't remember which CD it comes with, but
it sounds familiar.
But they're breaking it down, and he's just like, can you bring the tape back? One measure. No, bring it back to the G. He's so like precise with everything that's going on, and so she became a fan because of that, because just seeing like how talented he was and how involved he was with making the music, and seeing how the band recreates every single sound.
I was gonna say
nothing is sampled, like everything is recreated.
If people don't know, it's not like they go to the artist and say, hey, we're gonna parody your song, can we have your backtrack?
Right. No, they are
Al and his band recreate everything. And I think it was a little bit more obvious in the earlier career of Al, because there was lots of funny sound effects, like fart noises and
cartoons
whistles and
stuff,
cartoon noises all mixed in. And then as his career got more into like modern pop music, it maybe is not as obvious to people that him and his band are recreating everything from the ground up. It's incredible. And so once my wife saw that drew her in. She was into it. So then every year when he would every other year when he would play, we would go as a family. And I really started loving that it became something that all three of us thoroughly enjoyed, and we could go as a family, and it was for the most part a family friendly show. And that to me was that was what I loved the most about it. And so my like I said, my son, I am a lifelong fan, but my son is an even bigger fan than me, because he just like dove so much deeper and learned all this stuff. And actually, when he found out, I think it was at Adam's celebration, and you and I were talking about this. And he found out that I was coming on to talk about The Complete Al. He was like, I should be going on there and talking about it. I know more about the movie than you.
That's right.
I was like, you absolutely should. he was joking, but really he's right. He should have been the one talking about this. He knows.
We
more.
have room for a fourth frame. We can add him.
Pop him
Just
in.
add him in.
Yeah, we should have planned it.
I mean, maybe
I love that story, by the way. That's awesome. That's very cool.
Yeah, that's so great. I feel very similar. I remember my dad had the CD of Alpalooza, which ends up having like Jurassic Park on it, his parody of MacArthur Park, Bedrock Anthem, which is his Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I remember like being obsessed with that CD. Frank's 2000-inch TV, which is Traffic Jam, like those songs, I have listened to those songs so many times over and over again. I thought they were the funniest things I'd ever heard. And so since that moment, I have been a diehard Al fan. And the movies, UHF, all of the music, to the point where the first live concert I ever went to was Weird Al. My parents took me to see the Straight Outta Linwood tour, which is white and nerdy. It was at a relatively small theater out in Coquitlam, which is just outside Vancouver. And since that, I have been to every single show that Weird Al has done. A couple of years ago, he did probably so Weird Al's show is, screens and videos and costume changes. He dresses up as all the characters. He basically tries to like recreate the music videos on stage. It's all of the hits, all of the parodies. But a few years ago, he did the ridiculously ill-advised, self-indulgent vanity tour. Yeah. And it was all of the deep cuts. He's been touring with the hits for 35 years. He's going to do a show where him and his band, they sit on stage, on stools, no costumes, no videos, and they're going to play all of the deep cuts. And I saw that show 3 times over the 2 different tours that he went to, because it was the best thing. I mean, I got to see Albuquerque live. I don't know if he did it every single show because he was changing up that set list, but getting to see Albuquerque performed live, a 12-minute song that is like this like rambling crazy, and the best bit of the Albuquerque song, Jay, is about 3/4 of the way through this song. So we're probably 8 minutes into this song. He forgets where he is in the song, and he goes, I can't remember. No. And then he's like, well, I guess I'll just start over. And he starts from the top. The song. Yeah. He starts the song over. Yes. And then he does, I can't remember how far it is, but he does like at least the whole first verse again, and then remembers where he was at, and then goes back and finishes the song.
That's the genius.
And then that's
Andy Kaufman shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And don't forget that there's also like a 3-minute section of him, trying to buy a donut, and every donut. Yeah. Sorry, we don't have bear claws. We don't have crullers.
We don't have any jelly donuts.
On and on.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, my birthday is July 2nd, same day as Larry David and Lindsay Lohan. So one of the best experiences is for my birthday, I got front row seats to this no hits tour, and I got to walk away with the set list from that July 2nd show in Vancouver.
Nice.
And getting set lists after show is a very special thing. You have to be lucky. You have to be at the front, and you have to have some fun crew person who's coming out and just gives you the piece of paper that was printed for the set list of the artists on stage. And this one is actually it's all wrinkly because Al's water spilled all over it, so it was soaking wet, but it's dried now. So this is
might be sweat, Brandon.
Yeah,
for the
maybe.
for the
Yeah,
resale value.
exactly.
That's sweat, I think.
Yeah, this is Weird Al sweat.
And if his water spilled, you've got some of Al's saliva
Yeah,
mixed in there
there's
as
a
well.
little
Oh, you're
DNA
right.
in there.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes,
Little
yes.
Yeah.
clone ourselves our own little Al.
All right, so
That
Weird
was-
Al was your first concert. What was yours, Kurt?
My first concert was Adam Ant when I was
Oh, wow.
13 years
Oh.
old. And it was, I won the tickets off of K Rock, the local rock radio station here in LA. I was
Yeah.
caller 13. And it was a private show at a rehearsal studio. Adam Ant was about to go out on tour. And so he did a private
So
show in
cool.
a tiny little rehearsal studio, probably like 30 people in there. And it was
Wow.
awesome.
So
Yeah,
they ran
yeah,
through
and
the
I'm
whole
actually-
show,
Yeah.
and it was
And I'm
like
actually-
a VIP experience. Wow.
Yep. Yeah. I'm looking right now. I have my framed Adamant record right across from me. It says, "To Kurt, best wishes, Adamant 93." That was from that show afterwards. He signed my record.
What?
So, yeah.
Cool.
Cool experience. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Um,
That's amazing.
what was your first concert? Uh-oh. He's,
It's Weird Al. He's a secret Weird Al fan.
yeah.
No, it's embarrassing, but for opposite reasons. There were two actually in the same week, and I had never been to a concert, and my friend booked both of them. But my first concert was actually Neil Diamond in the round at the Hartford Civic Center in Connecticut.
It's pretty cool.
It was like in the late '90s sometime.
I don't think that's embarrassing.
And the other one, by the way, was
I mean-
The other one was talk about a dichotomy.
I know,
The other one was
yeah.
the same week, Cypress Hill, the Halloween show at Roseland
Wow.
Ballroom in New York City.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is both sides of the spectrum for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't, I was like Weird Al. I was straight edge as a kid. I didn't drink,
Yeah.
smoke weed, nothing, no cigarettes, nothing as a kid. So yeah, the Halloween show. I mean, it was just a cloud. The whole thing was a cloud, and we
Yeah.
were up in the Roseland Ballroom had sort of like a horseshoe mezzanine balcony upstairs that was sort of the VIP-ish area, and we were up there, but it made it great for not being shoulder to shoulder with all the people, but we were in the cloud of the
Yeah.
Cypress
Yeah.
Hill.
Yeah.
There's 500 people down there or 1,000 people or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and we were just in the cloud getting baked.
Yeah.
I don't remember a whole lot of it. I enjoyed the hell out of it while I was there, but I know that the next day I was like, it felt like it didn't happen because of all the weed.
I'm
And we
sure
weren't
Neil
smoking
Diamond
it. It was
a
just
much-
being there.
Right. Neil Diamond was probably a much calmer experience than Cypress
Yeah, with my
Hill.
friend's parents. Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
that one was cool. I remember everything about that. It being in the round, the technicalities of having to do that was pretty cool. And the fact that Neil Diamond was still doing it when he was probably in his 70s then, 60s. I don't know. He was not
Yeah.
young when I was 20.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
Cool.
But I got no autographs and no. I don't have any kind of cool keepsake from it other than the
No
story
set
of getting
list.
high with Cypress Hill.
Yeah. I wanted to share this because similar to your family,
Dude.
that's my family, us with Weird Al. This is one of the VIP things, he comes out and takes pictures with everybody. He's just the best. Like he really is so nice. And the other thing too is that he really appreciates his fans. I think there's a part of me that's like, even Weird Al is probably surprised that he's had a career as long as he's had.
Right.
Don't you think especially Weird
Yeah.
Al?
Especially Weird Al.
Can I ask a question since you guys know him? Because it's all of this I've always been curious.
Close personal friend of Al.
No, but here's what I'm curious about. What
the
was
name of
his
his fan
childhood
club.
like? Did he get bullied? Because he's clearly was definitely a weirdo.
He wasn't really. He actually, as far as I know, was like kind of popular and liked.
Shit.
Like
What an
it wasn't.
asshole. God damn it! Now I don't like him. He's taking our thing.
But maybe it's just because I think he was a funny kid, I guess. Like he started playing the accordion when he was 7 years old. Took lessons, and just fell in love with music. He originally went to school. They talk about it in The Complete Al, but it's true. He actually did go to school to be an architect. That's what he.
I remember all of that. I thought it was bullshit. Huh.
Yeah,
No.
no. And that's the thing with this Complete Al, it is the amazing and almost true life story of rock and roll legend. So there is lots of information in it that is true, but there's also a lot of it that's made up for comedy reasons, like being born in the elevator on the way up to the delivery room, right?
And I'll say,
I believed that too. I believed it.
That, well, I want to say, because I meant to say this in my video and I forgot to say it, so I'll say it now. You know, when I first saw this movie, I didn't know what a mockumentary was. For many years, I was a kid, and so many years, I thought every single thing in that movie was true. I didn't
totally
get that it was comedy. So it wasn't until I was an adult that a lot of stuff I started, you know what? Yeah, I don't think that's true, and I don't think that's true. But
well, yeah, they're not pushing it, right? There's little things that, yeah, maybe as an adult you go like, well, that can't be true or whatever. But whereas in the Daniel Radcliffe Weird, the Al Yankovic story, they really push it, like to the point where they are doing things that are not legal, and they are doing things that involve other country. Like it I don't want to spoil it if people haven't seen it, but this movie is very obvious that it is not the true story. It is a you know, fictitious tale, and the tone of the movie is very much in line with your Walk Hard, where they're like,
I was going to ask
the tropes of the music biopic and musicians in general, the alcohol abuse, the you know, the showing up late drunk to your show, and all, like, just all of these different things that musicians do are all, you know, in this film. Whereas the Complete Al is kind of just like making jokes that are like they're throwaway. I don't even know. Like, it's
that whole movie felt like it was made for the MTV generation, because it was, right, the short attention span. It was even so awesome nostalgia factor when the CBS Fox Video logo came on the screen. That made me so happy because it brought me back. But it said CBS Music Video Enterprises. That was the production company that made the thing. And it just felt to me like, oh, okay, well, it's a showcase. Obviously, you said it coincided with the new album. Okay, so they're clearly showcasing all these little music videos. Yeah. But the whole thing felt like sketch comedy to me, to your point.
Yeah, and I think because all of that is, like, all of the fake photos throughout it, that's all created for the special. All the photos of his various different girlfriends covering their face. Such a great bit. You know, all the obviously all the scenes where he's like meeting with Barry, and
love that, by the way.
One of my favorites is when he's like meeting with the merchandising people, and one of them refers to Al as Yankovic, which I think is just such an inside joke, because like he's Yankovic, but everybody refers to him as Yankovic. It's just how the general population has pronounced his name for many years.
For me, it's saying more about the separation of art and commerce. The fact that these merchandising people have no idea about the art they're selling. They're just blah, 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 blah. Let's get it out there, get it out there.
That is the joke of it, but I love that there is a reference to the mispronunciation of his name. And when he's meeting with those record people, and they all call him, I wrote it down, they call him like Big Al.
Big Al.
And Wild Al.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just again, like, they don't really care. They're like, they're just here to make money, right?
All of the discount manager scene stuff felt so real to me. All of the inside stuff, you know, while it was covered in kind of a weird cartoony way, it all felt very accurate. It felt like Al has gone through all of these things, and now he's just making fun of his experience. Definitely felt real.
Yeah.
And then the other thing was the mob manager, the guy that he gets, you know, hooked up with on the phone. Oh, he's coming over. Was he wearing Biff's jogging suit from Back to the Future?
I mean,
when he's auto detailing,
probably. I think it was. I don't think it was green. Go back and look. But it definitely was like a
No, you're right. It was maroon.
Yeah,
is Biff's green?
Yes, Biff's is green. Yeah.
Okay, in my head it was maroon. Maybe Tony Soprano. It looked familiar for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, it's very. It is, again. It's like that's the cliche of like the mob look is the velvet tracksuit, right?
Totally. And so 80s. So 80s.
I want to shout out somebody who appears in the audition sequence. So Al is trying to find band members. They set up these auditions. I love the Beatles guy, him like playing the down, and then like messing up. He's like, I'll get it. I think it's so funny. Yeah. But there is one, let's say, real musician in that set of auditioning folks.
Hold on. I didn't know this. Let me guess.
Okay. Yes.
Is it the guy playing Soul Man?
Yes.
Okay.
Back to Blues Brothers.
Yes. Well, it is a Blues Brother.
Oh, it's Mac.
It's Steve. No,
wow.
It's not Matt Guitar Murphy.
Oh,
it's Steve Colonel Cropper, the other
guitar
player in the Blues Brothers.
Amazing. That is.
Which Robert K. Weiss, as I had mentioned, produced the Blues Brothers. So clearly he brought him in. I have another photo here of the Colonel. There's playing with Jake and Elwood. And then in the credits, he's credited as Steve Cropper himself. So it is him just, doing a favor for Robert K. Weiss and coming in and doing a little guitar riff, playing Soul Man, as you'd mentioned in the Weird Al documentary.
I had no idea. Oh
yeah.
Man, I had no idea. But when you said a real musician, he right away jumped out as being a real musician.
And because Soul Man is also a song that the Blues Brothers cover. It's on various albums or whatever. I can't remember if it's in the movie, actually, now that I think about it. But is Soul Man in the movie?
It opens with it, doesn't it? Oh, no, maybe it doesn't open with it. No. I'm saying, bam, bam.
Yeah. But it's definitely on an album. It's on one of the Blues Brothers albums for sure. Yeah.
They don't do it at the Palace Hotel Ballroom at the end?
I'm blanking on it at this moment.
This is a good excuse to go watch Blues Brothers again this weekend.
Well, one of my favorites.
Me too.
The other person I wanted to shout out, because beside Weird Al, majority of the cast, when you go to them on IMDb, it says known for The Compleat Al. So
that's it.
Yeah, they kind of really only did that. This film was made very, very cheaply, and the budget, which $250,000 was the entire budget for this Compleat Al, and that had to include the budget to shoot Like a Surgeon, Dare to Be Stupid, and One More Minute. Those three new Dare to Be Stupid album songs, those videos, so the budget had to be allocated to those music videos as well, whereas the other videos like Ricky, the Ricky, Rocky Road, and Eat It, Midnight Star, I Lost on Jeopardy, those were already made for the previous albums and then included in this special. But one of the
I will say that I believe it. The only thing that looked like it cost money was the Greek theater scene, just because you'd have to pay for that. But I'm guessing he was playing the Greek theater and they just stole it while they were there.
I also think that, like, I would imagine majority of the budget might have gone to the music videos, because those are going to be separated out and play on MTV and going to be, they have to spend a little bit more time on the music videos, because I also think the music videos are the strongest part in this whole special. And that is the
kind of
the
linking
most
from one
jokes.
to the next.
Yeah, the most jokes per minute is in all of those music videos. But that's what makes Weird Al Weird Al, is those parody music videos when he's, in like the Eat It music video, he's shooting with some of the same actors and dancers from the Beat It music video in the same location. Like he's recreating the Michael Jackson video with his kooky Looney Tunes spin on it, right?
Yeah.
So the music videos have to be done to a certain
There's a certain
level.
Credibility that you need to. Yes, I agree. The bar has been set. Yeah.
But the other person I did want to shout out from the cast, her name is Tess McNell. She actually plays Lucy in the I Love Lucy, Ricky.
I was going to ask you about who that was. Yeah.
Yeah. So she plays Lucy. She's also the voice of the assistant in Barry's office. You know, she's yelling over the intercom.
Barry.
But she is actually a very popular voice artist. So she is the voice of Daisy Duck since 1999. She is also Dot from the Animaniacs. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Animaniacs. That was a big show when I was a kid.
Come on, of course.
And then she's also the voice of Chip and Gadget from the Rescue Rangers animated series.
Wow.
And then she goes on to she does a ton of voices in The Simpsons, but she's also the voice of Mom from Futurama. Do you guys remember that character? Mom has like the big gray hair, and she runs like the it's essentially like the Johnson and Johnson family company. It's like a play on that, where like Mom runs the business that makes all of the products in the world of Futurama. And
I never really watched Futurama.
Oh,
yeah, never
I
really.
love it so much. Well, the character Mom, in her commercials and on all of her products, she appears as like this like loving family woman, you know, down to earth and for everybody, but really she is like a billionaire who's like running this business, and she like is terrible to everybody. It's a great character. But that is Lucy and the from The Compleat Owl.
Had no idea. How awesome.
Yeah.
Two pieces of trivia that I had no idea about. Thank you.
Well, there wasn't, to be honest, there's not a lot of information out there about the Compleat Owl. Because it is like, it's obviously niche, right? You have to be a Weird Al fan. It's hard to find. This DVD is out of print. I'd love to be able to watch that original Showtime release. I don't have a VHS copy of it.
I'm gonna hunt. There is a small chance that I still have the VHS that I recorded off of cable back in like 1986. I'm gonna go through some boxes. I cannot remember if I have that one or if that one got tossed out when my parents passed. So I'm gonna hunt, because now I'm really curious, because I know I haven't watched that version since I was a kid, and so now I'm really curious to see how it's different.
Yeah, because that's a big chunk. 40 minutes is a big chunk to remove.
Yeah, it's a really big chunk. Like you said, I have a feeling it's probably some
the
of that
latter
stuff.
half.
Like that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, I'd like to just go through maybe some bits that we thought were funny in it.
I thought you meant I thought you meant we were going to do some bits. Like
let's just do some bits real quick. Let's see if we can get Weird Al to watch and see if we're funny enough for Al.
All right, we're going to do some improv. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me
something to warm up. Are there exercises? Maybe my moo. Maybe my moo.
Yeah. We've been warming up for an hour already.
Yeah, that was the warm up. It's time to get cracking.
When are we going to go live?
Yeah, exactly.
Pop in the tape.
That'd be so great if this whole time we weren't live. This was just us.
Oh my God, that's
beforehand.
That's my worst.
Sorry,
nightmare.
Kurt.
Yeah,
from the top
again. Make it natural though, okay? When we talk about all these things again, keep it light, keep it natural.
Yeah, let me go get another Red Bull.
One of my first like moments where I laughed out loud. I think lots of this stuff is funny, but it does take something special to like make me sitting alone in my living room to like laugh out loud. Definitely. But it was the magazine covers when he sort of reached his popularity. He's on Life magazine, Almania. He's on Car and Driver, and he's like in front of that like red sports car. He's on Ebony magazine, and it says the next best thing to being black. But then he's on the cover of Playgirl. And that was the one that made me laugh out loud. Is like his like little photo on the cover of Playgirl. I was like, that's really funny to me in terms of like Weird Al would never be on the cover of Playgirl.
Oh, Al.
Yeah, that one really got me. What else?
I think my favorite bit, and I mentioned it in my video, is I don't know why, but just him trying out guitar players. I just
Yeah.
always loved that, leading up to the, I don't want to do my laundry song. I think probably just always being a music lover and a guitar player. So I always loved
Yeah.
that part. I thought that was one of the funniest scenes.
Yeah, like I said, I love that Beatles guy, like messing up.
Yeah. Wait, I'll get it.
My favorite sequence, with the exception of the music videos, I'm not including the music videos in this because, but my favorite sequence is actually all the hotel room stuff when Al's crew is like, weirding up the hotel room, putting all the toys and the Mad magazines and, getting the space ready for the artist.
Yeah.
Felt like Robbie Retro.
Yeah, exactly. Getting it all Robbified. That's,
I think that's my favorite. I think, you know what, besides the guitar thing, I think that's also probably my favorite. Yeah. I always loved that too. Well, and Midnight Star is one of my top 5 favorite Al songs. So
yeah, and that one is a unique original Weird Al song. Because he's primarily known for his parodies where he's changing the words to a popular song, but the other side of Al is he does do original comedy songs, and usually they are in the style of music of another artist. Right. So there's lots of original songs that are not direct parodies of songs, but they're almost like parodies of an artist's style, which is actually in this particular film, Dare to Be Stupid, the last music video, the last song we hear in the special is supposed to be the style of Devo. Right? But it's not directly parodying any of Devo's songs. It's just in the style of Devo. And he's done like so many of those that it's like maybe people don't even realize, like, again, back to his, like, how talented he is and how much of a genius he is because he's taking a band like the Foo Fighters and he's like, okay, I'm going to write a Foo Fighters style song. Or one of my favorite deep cuts, because my favorite band of all time is the Talking Heads. He does a Talking Heads style song called Dog Eat Dog, and it's all about business culture and working in an office, but it's maybe it's a bit too obvious, but he's like, this is not my beautiful stapler, right? Like, he's not directly parodying
David Byrne.
He's doing David Byrne, but he's not directly parodying that specific song.
Right. Letting the days go by. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
So funny. I'm glad you brought up the whole thing with the non-parodies, because I wanted to bring that up. So I have five Al songs that kind of compete for my favorite. So I would say they're my top 5 favorite Al songs, but I love them all equally. And depending on the day, I might say, well, that's my favorite Al song.
Yeah. And
funny enough, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think all 5 of them are actually in the Complete Al.
Okay.
Which is just a coincidence. And so it would be Dare to Be Stupid.
Yeah.
Midnight Star. Slime Creatures from Outer Space. This Is the Life.
Yeah.
And One More Minute. Right? Yeah, those are all in Complete Al, right?
I don't remember Slime Creatures, but it might be in the background somewhere.
Yeah, when it's during the shopping. When they're on trying on the different outfits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's just the music in the background.
Yeah.
But so all 5 of my favorite Al songs are in the Complete Al, and completely, like, I realized this one day. I'm like, oh my gosh, all my favorite Al songs, none of them are parodies.
Yeah.
They're all, and I think I never thought about it, but I think that's really cool because, like we mentioned before, to a lot of people who don't really know Al, they're like, oh, he's that guy who does parodies. Oh, he's just that guy that like makes up stupid lyrics. He's doing karaoke and changing Sharona to Bologna. That takes no talent. But they don't realize how many original songs he has. And so much so that, like I said, without even thinking about it, my 5 favorite Weird Al songs aren't even parodies. You know, they're original songs, and all 5 of them are amazing. So
I'm very
like
similar.
I said, I didn't realize it for years, so I thought it was kind of cool when I did realize it. Like, hey, so
I love Albuquerque. I've name dropped already. Traffic Jam and 2000-inch TV. These are all original Al songs.
Traffic Jam. What you said? Style, the style of someone. Do you recognize Traffic Jam?
I can't. Tell me what it is.
So I bring it up because it's the one artist that Al has always said it's the one artist that always refused to let him do a parody every time he would ask. They had a famous feud. It's Prince.
Yeah.
So he says he had written a couple of Prince parodies, but he was never able to put them out, and he never will put them out. And not a lot of people have called out the fact that Traffic Jam is really just it's Let's Go Crazy. And no one really.
Of course it is. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
I guess if you have the ability to replicate it perfectly, you also have the ability to change just a few things, just enough to be legally different, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
exactly.
And one of the craziest things about Al is he gets permission for all of his parodies. He doesn't have to. He is protected. It's called parody law. He is protected under the guise of satire and comedy and original works that he doesn't have to get permission to parody. But because he is he runs in these circles in the music industry, he goes out of his way to get the permission from these artists. And there has been, through his career, one of the most famous ones is Amish Paradise, which is a parody of Gangster's Paradise by Coolio. And the story is that Coolio's people said yes, and then before talking to Coolio, and then Coolio said no, but the song was already done and planned to be out. So it was kind of this big mess. At the time, Coolio was kind of saying like, well, no, the song Gangster's Paradise is too serious. It's too emotional that you shouldn't be making fun of it. Years later, he kind of came around and realized that like Al's version is good.
Yeah. Also, it's also just Stevie Wonder in the first place, right? With Pastime Paradise.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you can't steal from a stealer.
Yeah. The only other one that I know of is kind of the opposite is Weird Al did a parody of Lady Gaga's Born This Way called Perform This Way. And it's kind of the joke of the song is all of the crazy outfits that Lady Gaga wears, and he performs this way, right? Like this is just what he does. Lady Gaga's people initially said no, and then word got around to Lady Gaga herself, and she said, "What do you? Yes, of course.
It's Weird Al, of course.
Yes, it's Weird Al,
yes,
right?
Absolutely. It seems like she'd be the type who would totally respect Weird Al. Yeah.
Well, and even Nirvana. Weird Al did.
That's one of my favorite stories.
Yes. Yeah. Smells Like Teen Spirit. He asked Kurt Cobain, and Kurt Cobain was essentially like, we've made it. That's how Kurt Cobain sort of, realized how successful they had become because Weird Al has asked to parody their song.
I put Weird Al, even not being the biggest fan, I put him up there with being in like Mad Magazine or something like that. If they're making fun of you, you have arrived.
Oh yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
And that's one of his biggest influences is Mad Magazine. That's why it's like all.
Oh, Weird Al's. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And I was just about to say,
go.
He's the.
Ta-da!
There we go.
Al is the only guest editor of Mad Magazine. Weird Al is the only guest editor.
Whoa. Sweet.
But yeah, he's everywhere. Like even in
I was clever. UHF, I guess everybody knows.
Even in UHF, he has a giant picture of Alfred E. Newman in his apartment. In fact, his name is George Newman in UHF, which maybe it's not, maybe it's just a coincidence or whatever. But I believe that like that is because
intentional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the funny thing about UHF, I was actually talking to my wife today, and it kind of just like clicked for the first time. UHF is like one of the only like Weird Al projects per se that like he doesn't play Weird Al, right? Like it's actually kind of
Oh,
rare when Weird
Hmm.
Al makes an appearance, he's
no, you're
usually
right.
Weird Al, right? It's kind of
That's
like
weird.
it's like Mark Hamill. Like Mark Hamill, whenever he's like appearing in something, is probably playing Mark Hamill, right? And it's supposed to be like, oh my god, it's Mark Hamill, like that's Luke
Generally,
Skywalker. Weird Al's the same
Kevin
way.
Smith movies for sure.
His appearance on The Simpsons, everything he's done, he's playing Weird Al. So I do
Is
think it's
Weird Al?
interesting
Is
in
that a character
UHF.
like Pee Wee Herman, or is that just him? Is that really him, or is
Oh,
that
and I
up for
think
debate?
It's
I think
more
I think
him than Pee
pretty
Wee.
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm sure,
so
of
maybe
course he
it's
hams it up, but
Yeah.
yeah.
okay, because there is the uniform, and like it does seem like a character,
I bet you the
but
Hawaiian
it's who
shirt
he
and the
really
checkered
is.
Vans, they are a costume at this point. I don't
At this
think that
point.
he is I don't
Got
think
it.
that he is walking around the house with his Hawaiian shirt on. That being said, when he was younger, I get the sense that that is what he was wearing.
Was actually
Right.
wearing.
All the time. Yes, right?
I totally
Because
jive with that. Yes.
before
Yeah.
he was the world touring platinum album selling Weird Al, he was a radio show DJ, and the Weird Al comes from all of that time, right? And just being a fan of funny comedy music, he decided that he was going to try his hand on it and found success through the Dr. Demento show and the My Bologna, as Kurt had mentioned, and another one, Rides the Bus. And it's kind of like maybe he did play into it a little bit more as the popularity was building, but I get the feeling that that's kind of what Al was doing at that time at college.
Yeah.
The glasses, the mustache, and the hair, that is him. Like that's
Right.
what he
So it
looked
could
like.
maybe it's a caricature of himself, exaggerated a little bit for entertainment
time,
purposes, but
yes.
that's totally him. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I buy that. I totally buy that.
Yeah. Whereas you're like Paul Rubens and Pee Wee Herman are
Yeah.
different
Two separate,
people,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
It is-
I agree. All this came from the the playing a different role, not playing Weird Al in UHF, and I guess it's less weird than I thought it was now. If it's really just him, and then he's just playing a role.
Yeah.
What was
I mean,
it,
I'm
George?
sure, I'm sure in real life he's not, putting his leg behind his head every time he meets a new
every chance he
person,
gets.
doing these
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
things.
Okay, Al, we're trying to eat.
Right.
Dinner
Those are the
time.
ways where that's where I think the act comes in, where he's hamming it
Yes.
up to be extra
Yeah.
weird. But I would say overall, that's just him. That's,
Copy
and I
that.
think
I love that.
as weird and as funny he is as a comedian, I do think Al, first and foremost, is just a huge music nerd, huge
Yeah.
music fan. I think
Mhm.
he's always been. He just loves weird bands. Oingo Boingo and Devo,
Yeah.
like those are big bands for him. So that him being a regular fan of a band like Oingo Boingo does make him weird in his real life. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. It's not an act.
it's not an
Yeah.
act. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
weirdness deep inside him.
Yeah.
because of myself and my son having very similar musical tastes, we find that we keep ending up at the same concerts as Al. We've been, I think now, just in the last couple of years, we've been to 4 concerts where, like, in the middle, in between bands, I'll look on my phone and I'll look at Instagram and I'll see that Weird Al posts, a shot of the stage from like the front row, and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
Al's down there.
Yeah,
And the shows have been Sparks, Danny Elfman,
yeah.
and every Devo show that we've been to in
Yeah.
the last couple of years. So yeah,
Wow.
Al
There
has
you go.
been at all of them. So
Wow. Awesome.
If I remember correctly, I think our friend and past and future guest Steve 3, who was here earlier in the chat, he sat behind Weird Al at the John Candy documentary premiere in LA. I think I remember him telling me that because we were making jokes about like not being able to see through Al's hair.
The hair.
Yeah.
That's very funny. Well, now I'm glad I didn't go. Thanks, Brandon. You invited me to that. I appreciated it.
So I wanted to share really quick.
Yeah,
and
please.
maybe you can too, because I saw, you put up your photo. I wanted to share when I got to meet Al, because it was so awesome. You shared that you've met him at the a meet and greet. Is that the only time?
No, I've met him 3 times, 2 meet and greets, and the first time, this was before all the meet and greet stuff. We waited outside after the show, and then he sat on the steps of his tour bus and he met everybody and signed. He signed things for everybody who had lined up, just sitting on the steps of his tour bus. Like it blew me away. I just could not believe how nice and kind. And after an incredible energy draining show, he still had enough to give to every single person who was waiting in line. And I can't remember how many people, but let's say like there was like 50 people there waiting, after the show.
It's impressive.
Yeah. That's so cool. Yeah. When my son was a bit younger, like maybe 10 or so, we maybe a little bit younger than that, I heard that he was going to be doing a signing at Amoeba Records in Hollywood. And I took my son down there to surprise him and had no idea how crazy the line was going to be. He was set up in the back of Amoeba Records, which is, this was at the old location, which was very big. And the line went all the way through Amoeba Records and then came out the front door and then split into 2 and went all the way around the building. And I had band rehearsals that night, and I only had like an hour. We got there and I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I can't wait in this line. And my son was just, Dad, no, we gotta stay. And we waited in line for as long as we could, and there was just no way that we were going to get to him. And we had to leave. My son was devastated. And then like maybe a year or so later, we found out that there was going to be a Weird Al art show at this little art gallery called 1984.
Yes.
And it was not very publicized. And we went down there and, we found out that Weird Al was going to be there opening night. So we went down there and there was maybe only like 30 people in line. Because like I said, it wasn't very well publicized. And started raining. We waited outside in the rain, and but Al showed up, met everybody, signed whatever, had conversations with everyone, and then he just hung out. But it was weird because I've met a good handful of celebrities, and I get a little starstruck, but I know how to, whatever. I know how to speak to them, and I'm a big Al fan, but I never considered him to be like my favorite artist. But for some reason, I was never more nervous about meeting a celebrity than I was about meeting Al for some reason. Like when we got up there was like 2 people ahead of us, and I was like, okay, what are we going to do? What are you going to ask him? What are you going to like? Okay, let's plan this out. We got to, and I wanted it to be all about my son, but then like we got up there and my son kind of froze. He handed Al his CD, and then he kind of just froze because he was so, so starstruck. And then I took over, and I feel bad about that. I was like, hey, can I ask you a question? And Al was like, sure. And so I asked him because, as I said, I am a gigantic Prince fan, and famously, there's this Al and Prince feud, and Al has gone out of his way throughout his career to make many Prince jokes. Like he makes fun of Prince a lot, especially Prince's height. And so I have the picture. I wish I had it to show, but the picture of me and my family, and I'm actually wearing a Prince hat and a Prince sweater in the picture. And Al might have been, I don't know if he like thought that I was gonna, beat him up or something because I was
Yeah,
like,
you're
hey,
from
can I ask
Paisley
you?
Park.
Yeah,
Funny,
yeah.
funny.
I was like, hey, I want to ask you a question. I'm like, you know, I'm a huge Al fan, but I'm also a really huge Prince fan. And he was like, okay. Like I could see him like, you're like,
Where's this
where
gonna
is this
go?
going?
Yeah.
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 And I was like, I'm like, you know, you famously over the years you've bashed Prince and you've made so many jokes about him, and I'm like, rightfully so. And I'm like, all the jokes you've made about him are absolutely hilarious. I'm like, but I'm just curious. Jokes aside, and you know, him being a jerk aside, are you a fan of Prince? And he was like, oh, absolutely. And he just kind of, you know, went off. You know, he was like, Prince is a genius and his music is the best and I love it. And it was awesome. He kind of went on and talked about Prince for a while, and that made me so
Cool.
happy
Yeah.
being a Prince fan, to know that, you know, besides, yeah, Prince was kind of a jerk to him, he loves his music. And yeah, and he was just really cool and warm, and had a conversation with me about it like a normal person, and then took a
Yeah.
picture with us. And he couldn't have been a nicer human being. He was
Yeah.
just so nice.
He's freaking cool, man. Like
Thank God you didn't have to make a Sophie's choice there. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
If he was like, look, it's Prince or me.
Yeah, it's an ultimatum.
That's right.
Me
you
or
want
him
this autograph or not?
Yeah. Yeah, if you want this autograph, take the hat off.
Yeah,
Throw it in the
exactly.
gutter.
Exactly.
That's an
and
awesome
then we
story
had,
too, though.
yeah, thank you. And then we had one more Al, like, almost meeting experience. We didn't get to talk to him this time, but he was a few feet away from us. They did a photo shoot. If I remember correctly, it was for the New York Times, and they just put this thing out. Hey, come down and be in a Weird Al photo shoot. Dress up like Weird Al. And again, I kind of surprised my son. I ordered some fake mustaches off of Amazon and a couple of wigs, and we dressed up. Got my son a little mini accordion, and we went down to this little studio in Hollywood and waited around for a couple of hours. And then they brought us in, and there was like, oh gosh, I want to say like maybe 75 or 80 people dressed up like Weird Al, different eras throughout the years. And then Weird Al came in, and he stood right in the front of the crowd, and they took this photo. And if you look, you have to like zoom it in, but right in the back, my son and I are in the very back, but right when they snapped the photo, we stepped out of the crowd. So we're like the two that are like standing out in the back. But yeah, so that was a really cool experience too.
That's
A Weird Al costume is tough, like with the wig and everything, because it's very Magnum too. You know, it's a mustache, it's a curly wig.
Well, they
Hawaiian
sell the
shirt.
official lookalike. You know, that family is having so much fun in the
I didn't
the
realize.
film. No, that's
right, in the thing, yeah, of course, yes, of course. You got me again.
Yeah, we just ordered that off of Amazon. The
lookalike, yeah.
Yeah.
I want.
But anyways, I just wanted to share those.
I mean,
meeting Al experiences.
He's so cool.
It's cool that you figured out a way to stand out. You know, he met a lot of people that day, and like you've had this conversation, I'm sure probably is the one that stood out that day.
Yeah.
Talking about Prince, you know, that's pretty cool.
Our buddy Micah is joining us here. He says,
"Hey, Micah.
I met Al with Adam. We filmed the whole interaction. The director of UHF was there too. Yes.
Nice.
Jay Levy, the director of The Compleat Al, and Micah, if you didn't know, plays Gandhi in Gandhi 2. We talked about it at the beginning of the film, the episode.
Yeah. Medium rare, please.
Hey.
It's close. Give me a steak. Medium rare.
Oh, it's so close. I'm learning.
Conan the Librarian. Come on. It's all great stuff.
Haven't you heard of the Dewey Decimal System?
So I do agree. I understand his genius. I definitely understand his genius. There are just many levels to it, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
What about music videos? Any particular music videos, Jay, stand out to you? Is there any songs that you were like, oh yeah, I like this one? The Lucy, Rocky Road, Eat It, I Lost on Jeopardy. Oh, This Is the Life we should talk about. Like a Surgeon, One More Minute, or Dare to Be Stupid. Any of those jump out at you?
Some of them were familiar, and some of them I didn't know.
Uh, well, let's.
Sorry,
I
don't know
I'm
what
just
to say. I mean,
curious.
you know, yeah. I'm also a musician, so like, I don't. It just doesn't. It's never done it for me, and it didn't do it for me today either. I got to celebrate the genius of it all, but wait,
That's
I can't
fair.
wait to get to the ratings of this one. Nothing
Let's
stood
talk-
out. Nothing stood out.
Let's talk about This Is the Life. Yeah, go
One
ahead,
stood
Chip.
out, but negative. It was the guy at the desk doing this da 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 da.
Okay,
It's
and
hilarious.
and everything else. I was like, I
Okay,
was like,
so do you know who that
I go,
is?
fuck this guy and fuck this movie, and unfortunately I had to back it up because of this thing. My phone went blank and I was watching it on the TV. So then I thought I was whatever the fuck. It did that whole scene over again from the top, and I didn't want to mess it up. So I literally watched that whole thing 2.5
Give
times
it
through.
to me
So-
good.
So
Yep,
that is
that's
a
it.
bit.
The Rolling
that is a
Stones
bit
thing.
So great.
That's a bit from Al TV. Okay, that is from the MTV Al TV, but that is actually Harvey Leeds, the president of Epic Records, doing that
Oh, wow.
whole video. So that's not an actor. That is actually the real president of Epic Records doing the exclusive State of Shock video.
How can you not like that? It's so great.
I love it because it
Yeah.
goes on for too long.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
I like
Right.
I muted it. It started hurting my head.
it. And then he's got the gun and he's doing the sound effects.
Yeah.
I watched
Show
the
me
build
a
the first time, and then it started it over.
State of
And,
Shock. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
That's
I'm
it.
sorry.
Oh
It's-
God!
It's so funny.
Good.
Now you know how to get under my skin. If you ever want to
Exactly,
torture me,
for the
waterboard me. Yeah.
So
So you wanted to talk about This Is the Life.
yeah, so This Is the
uh,
Life.
Theme song from a great 80s movie. Do you know what it's the theme song from? Ah, yes.
It is
Oh,
the
no
Of course
shit.
you do.
title track from Michael Keaton's
Yeah.
Johnny Dangerously.
Yeah.
Amy Heckerling's second film. We've talked about Amy Heckerling on the show because after Johnny Dangerously absolutely bombed, she went on to direct National Lampoon European Vacation and had a terrible time working with Chevy Chase and almost left the movie industry altogether. Yes.
Yeah, that almost put the last nail in the coffin. All right.
Yeah, exactly. So Johnny Dangerously is 1984. At this time, Michael Keaton had only done Mr. Mom, but again, this just shows how big Weird Al was at this time because they're hiring him to write an original song for the title, the credits of their comedy movie. And it makes sense if the film Johnny Dangerously is very similar to Airplane, the Naked Gun films. It's a send up of mob movies.
Like
Right.
old
It
film
doesn't-
noir a little bit.
Yeah, I watched it last night actually, because I hadn't seen it in many, many years, and there is
What'd you
some
think?
really, really good jokes. There's also some really bad jokes and really unfunny jokes.
Really?
Yeah,
I love that movie. What jokes were not funny? Oh, I love it. And I did the filming locations, by the way. Anyone who's
okay, I'm
watching.
gonna check that
Right
out.
on.
I haven't seen that video. I'm gonna watch your Johnny Dangerously locations video.
It's mostly studios, or I think it's all
Yes.
studios.
Well, they
Yeah.
make a joke in the opening movie, with the opening sequence where they're like, "This is New York City," but it's like, oh, I can't remember what they say, but they make reference to like busy for only 2 blocks or whatever it is, right?
Yeah,
In
right,
reference
right.
to the 2 blocks of a film set.
That's funny.
What it is the movie starts so strong, like
Mm.
out of the gate, first 20 minutes, half an hour is so funny. There's some really great jokes. The mom saying that she's like, it's her 29th birthday, and
Right.
played by a woman in her like late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah.
It just sort of trails off a little bit, I will say, but it is
Mm.
fun. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's just it just goes on for too long.
Okay.
But so Weird Al records "This Is the Life," which we saw here in the Complete Al as the opening credits sequence for Johnny Dangerously. Now, interestingly enough, I don't have the VHS copy of Johnny Dangerously, but there was a contract dispute with CBS for the home video release, the original home video release of Johnny Dangerously, which did not include the Weird Al song. It's a completely different song over the credits at the beginning of the film. It's not until the DVD release that they put it back on. But if you saw it in theaters, it was Weird Al, or on the DVD, it's Weird Al. But for that first VHS release, there's no Weird Al song.
So when I was a kid, my parents, they got cable, and every weekend, HBO or Showtime would premiere a new movie, and my parents just recorded every weekend. They would record the new movie, and so that was how I knew most movies, was from whatever the cut was on HBO and Showtime. Was the cut that I was most familiar with. So I had no idea that the VHS didn't have This Is the Life. You're bringing so many fun facts to this that I didn't know.
Brendan does his research.
It is a fun movie. I definitely enjoyed watching it. It's just not. It's not, and I'm directly comparing it to Airplane and the Naked Gun films, which are like they're the top. They're so good. And this movie does have funny bits in it, but it's just not at the same level as those Naked Gun and Airplane movies, which I think is the reason why a lot of people don't know about the film Johnny Dangerously. But I mean,
it's different DNA too, right? It's not the Zucker brother. It's somebody else entirely producing it, right?
Yeah.
And
let's see who. Michael Hertzberg.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't
not
know
the
the name
Zucker
off the top of my
brothers.
head. Yeah. Title song written and performed by Weird Al Yankovic. Says right here on the back.
Point of Pride on the DVD.
Danny DeVito. That's in the credits. It's got a block around it right in the middle there.
Again, though, if it wasn't on the VHS, it's a point of pride on the DVD that they're actually celebrating it.
Mary Lou Henner from Taxi, Danny DeVito, Joe Piscopo from SNL.
Wow. That's a deep
cut.
From Wise Guys? Joe Piscopo from Wise Guys?
You know what's funny is Joe Piscopo and Danny DeVito do Wise Guys right after this movie. It's like,
really?
For some reason, it's like Brian De Palma saw this movie and was like, "Oh, I could do something like that." And
how in the fuck did Brian De Palma do that movie? It always blew me away.
It's insane.
Because it talk about a departure film. Thank you, Mr. Acavano. By the way, I used to watch that movie a lot as a kid because my dad, I think I've said this before, my dad was friends with Lou Albano growing up before he was Captain Lou from the WWF. So like, my buddy Lou's in this movie. So anytime it was on, we would leave it on.
Oh, fun.
Gotta see why.
Thank you, Mr. Acavano.
I love the edible underwear joke. It's probably the dirtiest Weird Al joke ever, and it's hard to catch. And maybe you wouldn't even see it on because the version that I'd sent you, Jay, is a VHS rip, so the quality is not fully there. But I don't know if you can read on the underwear. It says Weird Al says "Eat It," which is obviously a reference to his song "Eat It," but the placement on the underwear suggests a different joke. And
being that the underwear itself is edible,
it is edible, exactly.
Yes,
but there is just some like Weird Al is very, very PG. Like he's not crude. Maybe in like, it's hard to describe, but it is very PG. Maybe PG-13 if you want to be. Sometimes he pushes it, but when I watching that and I saw that, I was like, that's probably the dirtiest Weird Al joke I've ever seen. What else have we got here? I mean, there is another dirty joke where Barry is putting on the latest music video and he has the wrong tape in. Babes in Bondage is in the VCR. Another dirty joke. I love that at the very end of the movie, they're having that production meeting for the new music video that's premiering tomorrow or whatever they say. And all of the things that Al lists end up being in the Dare to Be Stupid music video. So it's the man in the green bandages cutting the kiwi, the Mr. Potato Head army, the plastic cows, all of those things. He's like his stream of consciousness, his genius idea that he's having. All of those end up showing up in the Dare to Be Stupid music video.
Right.
Those are actually Weird Al's parents that show up throughout the film a couple of times. They're not the greatest actors, but the fact that that there's actually Al's parents is funny.
I felt like there was a lot of Tom Green. You could see Tom Green being influenced by a lot of this stuff.
Oh,
the parent stuff for sure.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any other bits in the actual mockumentary? I liked the teachers at the beginning. That one teacher that's like keeps like puffing on the cigarette and like can't tell his story.
He keeps coughing. The coughing guy.
Yeah.
He was funny. And then the teacher right after that felt like from Men in Black when he talks about his teacher being an alien. She looked like the same outfit and everything.
Yeah, it looked very, very similar.
Mrs. Weidenbaum, I think she was in this.
Good pull.
Did you notice the Ennis Brown house? It's the house from Blade Runner and from so many movies.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about the Michael Jackson bit. Yes, that's another original bit for this Complete Al. But you are correct. The house that Michael Jackson lives in this is the house from Blade Runner, and I'm sure other
many movies.
Yeah,
for me, 13th Floor. If anybody's ever seen that, I love that movie with a passion.
I don't even know what that is.
I think you might enjoy it. It's good, high concept. Came out at the same time as The Matrix with a similar idea, and it got eclipsed by The Matrix.
I will spoil one joke for Weird, the Al Yankovic story, the Daniel Radcliffe film. He writes the songs My Bologna, which is the parody of My Sharona. He does another one, Rides the Bus at a party. One of the greatest scenes in the film is the party scene with all the actors playing all these famous people.
It's so good.
But then he writes the song Eat It. And the joke in this movie is that Weird Al writes the original song Eat It, and then Michael Jackson rips off Weird Al and writes the song Beat It. And Weird Al wants to be taken seriously as an artist. But I love that idea of like he's mad because Michael Jackson ripped him off in the Weird movie.
It's as if Marty McFly stayed in the past and Chuck Berry still.
I'm gonna guess anyway. I'm gonna guess you've seen the original. Speaking of Weird, the original little trailer,
the Funny or Die episode. Trailer. Yes, with Jesse from
Aaron Paul.
Aaron Paul. Yes.
Yeah, I think the first place I ever saw that was at a Weird Al concert when they would show it on the video screen.
Yes,
and I thought it was the best thing I'd ever seen. Like I laughed so hard, I was crying, and I was I hope they make this a real movie one day. And when I found out they were, I was so excited. And I'll say, I think the original Funny or Die trailer is a little funnier than the movie. I love the movie, but
I love the movie too.
Yeah,
I think,
or is it Aaron Paul?
Well, I think the shorter format of it really sells the joke of like the ultra serious biopic with all the alcoholism and all the tropes of the music industry and struggling, misunderstood artists and all that kind of stuff. I absolutely love the Daniel Radcliffe movie. I do think my least favorite stuff, I said I wasn't going to spoil it, but is the latter half of the movie when they travel to another country. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah.
That's the part of the movie. Kind of
dips.
Yeah, that's where the movie dips for me.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the romantic relationship with Madonna. I think it is so funny. Evan Rachel Wood plays Madonna.
Oh, okay.
and it's just
Yeah.
so great. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like you said, the party scene, the backyard party, that was
yes,
the best. Oh my gosh,
yeah,
so good.
yeah. It's I want people to watch it. I don't know if people will, but okay, he goes to this party, and it is celebrity cameos of celebrity cameos of celebrities playing the cameos.
You're
So it's
right.
like Jack Black playing Wolfman Jack. Conan O'Brien plays Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
Yorma Tacone from The Lonely Island is playing Pee Wee Herman. Paul F.
That's
Tompkins, the
funny.
comedian, is playing Gallagher. Like, so it's like all of these celebrity cameos as celebrities and musicians and comedians. It's such a great scene.
That's funny.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I agree with you in the sense that I think as like a short subject comedy sketch, the Aaron Paul trick, because it's a trailer. That's what the sketch is. It's the
Right.
movie
Right.
trailer of the weird the Al Yankovic story. But like even the beginning of the Daniel Radcliffe stuff before Daniel Radcliffe gets involved is like so crazy and kooky with Thomas Lennon playing the accordion salesman, and his dad is I can't remember the actor's name, but he's in like the Halloween movie, like the later Halloween movies.
Remember.
Toby Huss. Toby Huss from
Wow, look at you.
King of the Hill. He's one of the voice actors on King of the Hill. Very, very funny guy. So
Who is he on King of the Hill?
Well, he's now the voice of Dale. He replaced
The guy who died.
the guy
Johnny
who died.
Hardwick.
Yes. But Toby
Yeah.
Huss was, I think, also the original, and maybe it's it's not appropriate anymore. But he was the what's the neighbor's name? The Lau
Boomhauer.
family.
Boomhauer?
No.
No, Khan.
Oh.
Khan.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, wow.
Toby Huss was the original voice of Khan, but now the guy from the Daily Show does the voice of Khan now. But so like Toby Huss is been involved with that show for a long time, but he plays the dad in the 2018 Halloween David Gordon Green, and I think he's so good in that movie. He's like so funny in a Michael Myers Halloween movie. I just like him, but he plays Al's dad in the Daniel Radcliffe version, and he works at the factory that nobody knows what they make at the factory, and he hates.
Oh my God, I love that actor.
Yeah, he's so great.
He plays the Wiz on Seinfeld.
Oh yes, I'm the Wiz. I'm the Wiz.
I'm the Wiz. Nobody beats me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I love that actor.
Yeah.
He's great.
He's one of those guys that just shows up, and he's so
he
good.
delivers every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Toby Huss.
There's some show about when they were first making computers, like the whatever that's called. He was fantastic on. God damn it, Cameron. Shit, Nicole and I love that show. All right, sorry.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, bummer.
Okay. Anything else from the Complete Al we want to hit? I really.
Well, I was
think
going to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about too much when he goes to Japan. I said how I was going to do the locations, and we didn't. But I love it. It's such a stupid joke. It's hilarious to me when he's being interviewed in Japan, and he's got the interpreter, and they ask him a bunch of questions in Japanese, and then the interpreter turns to him, and she asks him the same question in Japanese.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't understand. And then they start laughing. Oh, he doesn't understand us. And they're laughing at him for not understanding Japanese. It's such a dumb joke, but always
because he's the silly dumb American. Is that the guy?
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
and then he plays into that joke by like not liking any of the food, and then goes to McDonald's.
Right.
That's funny.
I love.
Yeah.
Halt and Catch Fire. Sorry, just so you know.
Oh, is that the TV show?
Yes. After Breaking Bad and after Mad Men went off, it was AMC's next thing.
Al was pretty big in Japan. Like all of that Japan footage is because he was over there doing those interviews and playing shows. I love there is a subset of Japanese like 50s rockabilly.
Yeah.
Fans. And I've seen videos of them, you know, they dress up in their poodle skirts and they have their you know, greasy
Pompadours.
coiffed hair, their pompadours, thank you. And their leather jackets and their tight white shirts. And I've seen videos of them like recently. And it was just so cool to see 1985 or 4 footage of that scene still going strong, of them all dancing to their rockabilly music out in the parks in Japan.
Yeah, there is a huge rockabilly scene in Japan. Anytime I've gone to any rockabilly show, or like they used to have, or they probably still have it out in Vegas. They have Viva Las Vegas, the big rockabilly weekend. And you'll see tons of people coming in from Japan for that, and looking just like they do in the Complete Owl. Huge pompadours, the full getup. Yeah, they're serious about it.
Yeah, it's a really cool like community that still exists over in Japan. Like obviously there's rockabilly people over here as well, but it's huge over there still. So it was cool to see the 80s version of that going strong over there.
Definitely.
And I love his little pod with his pink socks.
Yeah.
And he gets McDonald's brought in again.
Right.
Yankland. I just like I like the joke of Yankland. Not even like really anything. It's just one of those like part of the comedy of the music biopic or the music documentary, you know, following his like introspective era, the me, myself, and I, you know, and that they bring that guru in for a second, you know, all of those sort of tropes are all touched on. I don't know. We didn't really talk about the Michael Jackson bit. I like the Michael Jackson bit. The guy looks more like Tito than Michael.
True.
What's up, Jermaine?
That's something that still to this day, like if I don't know, talking about something with my wife and if it's something I have to give an opinion on, I'll do the teetering thumb.
Yeah. Yeah, and we see the tiger, and we see a version of Bubbles, the monkey.
Bubbles, right.
Yeah. I think we sort of hit it all. Fashion store, Highland Meat.
The Jeopardy, the game show was my favorite part.
Yeah,
I liked how they did a show within a show with fake camera. You know, everything was cardboard. It was cool. I like that.
Well, and that's that's a music video that was shot previous to the Complete Owl and then put in as one of the featured music videos. But obviously,
it was the real Don Pardo.
Yes,
it was the real Don Pardo, which was nice. Raises the street cred a little bit.
Yeah,
and at the end, the real Greg Kinn, when he throws him into the car at the end, it's the real singer of Our Love's in Jeopardy.
Oh. Didn't even realize.
I didn't know that, but that is a parody of that song, exactly.
Yeah, and let me put it out there just for anyone watching. If anyone knows, my son and I have been trying to hunt down that location even before I was doing the Complete Owl. Just that where they toss them out of the studio at the end into the car. We've been trying to figure out where that alley. You can see when they drive off. You can see an old school Baskin Robbins across the street, and I was like, well, I guess we're gonna have to hunt down every single Baskin Robbins that ever existed in Los Angeles.
Hey, you got to put in the work for the reward, Kurt. Okay.
Yeah. But maybe someone out there, will see this and they'll maybe they worked on the video and they'll know.
Or they worked at that Baskin Robbins.
Or that Baskin Robbins.
So is that the Jeopardy video? The end of the Jeopardy
video?
The
very end of it when he gets thrown out. Yeah.
I'm gonna look this up, see if I can't help you, Kurt.
Yes.
At least you get another set of eyes looking at it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I did want to shout out the DOP on The Complete Al. His name is David Lewis, and I always like to look and see what other things the cinematographers have shot, because I always find it so interesting. So David Lewis works with Al and Jay Levy again on UHF. He also shoots 22 episodes of Pee-wee's Playhouse. Shot Leprechaun 3 and 4. A film, a personal childhood favorite of my wife, Renee, Chairman of the Board, which is the Carrot Top vehicle. And then a film that I love. I think
is that Courtney Thorne Smith? Courtney Thorne Smith, I think.
I've only seen it one time. I very early in our relationship, I found out that Renee was a fan of Chairman of the Board, and I tracked down a DVD copy of Chairman of the Board so that we could watch it together. So I've seen it the one time.
Isn't there that famous clip from early Conan O'Brien when Norm Macdonald was on, and they make the joke about it, and she's there to promote Chairman of the Board, and he just is consistently interrupting and making funny quips the entire time. And Conan finally says, blah, 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 and her new movie's Chairman of the Board, and everybody suddenly goes, do something with that. He's like, I bet board is spelled Bored.
Yes, that's right.
And
that is
eruption of laughter. Eruption in 6 days.
Classic Norm bit. Yeah,
Norm was
classic.
the best. And I'm laughing really hard because Chairman of the Board is it's an inside joke. It's a joke with me and my son. Like, my son brings up that movie almost every day, like, just because of how bad it is. He'll just be like,
yeah.
Hey, so we're watching Chairman of the Board, or he'll randomly just send me like the movie poster of Chairman of the Board, like. So when you brought it up right now, it was just like, I can't believe you're bringing up
same cinematographer as The Complete Al and UHF.
That's so great.
He also shot a movie that I love. I think it has one of the coolest opening title songs. It's just an original score piece, but it's so cool. 1988's Night of the Demons. Have either of you guys seen that?
Yes,
Angela,
love it.
You're Invited to Angela's Party. Have you seen that, Jay?
No, I've never heard of it.
It is.
Oh man, I used to watch it on cable like every other night when I was a kid. Yeah,
it is a wild, cool movie. They made a bunch of sequels. I've never seen any of the sequels. I've only seen the original Night of the Demons.
What's it called?
Night of the Demons.
Night of the Demons.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's NIGHT. It's not like some KNI.
Yes.
Okay.
And it is it's like a possession movie. Some teens. There's some really cool makeups. I'm in love with the score. Super cool movie. I got to rewatch it now. I got to rewatch Night of the Demons. I haven't seen it in a while.
Hilarious.
Great horror movie.
All right. So The Complete Al released on Showtime August 7th, 1985. As I mentioned, it's a $250,000
Seems about right.
$250,000 budget, which included Like a Surgeon, Dare to Be Stupid, and One More Minute. Those music videos were new for the Dare to Be Stupid album that had just come out, and then the VHS was released September 25th. Now, because we don't have box office numbers for this particular episode, because it was a TV special, I did want to just name some of the movies that were coming out this weekend, August 9th. So August 7th is a Wednesday, August 9th, the Friday. Here are the films that are out this weekend for all to enjoy. Back to the Future is still holding strong, has been out for a couple of weeks. Summer Rental, John Candy, one of my favorites. Can't wait to do that one on the show.
Please, yes.
New this week, coming out on August 9th, 1985, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Wow.
So you could be at home on Wednesday watching Weird Al on Showtime. Is that a real tiger siren or is that a 3D printed one?
This is a 3D printed one.
Okay, yeah. I have a 3D printed one on my bike. I just was like, if maybe Kurt might have a real one, that would be crazy. Never been able to find
wish.
one. Yeah, so
that's
rare.
where I met Kurt.
I've seen him.
That's where I met you. Was the night of the Pee-wee's 40th at Warner Brothers.
That's right.
Yes. Absolutely.
With Adam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 4 on the August 9th weekend, National Lampoon's European Vacation, talking about Amy Heckerling, the director of Johnny Dangerously. Number 5, Fright Night. Number 6, Weird Science. Number 7, Real Genius. Talk about a double feature,
Whoa.
Weird Science and Real Genius.
Crazy.
What a time to be alive.
I know, these movies are amazing. Number 8, Cocoon, film we've covered.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
Number 9, Sesame Street Presents Follow That Bird, a film we've covered. And then number 10 at the box office, Silverado, the Western film, which we have not covered yet. But like, what a crazy weekend of movies.
That is one hell of a summer.
Insane.
It's insane. It's unbelievable, really. Like, the fact that Back to the Future, Pee-wee, and Weird Science are all still playing in the theaters at the same time. Like, those are 3 of like my favorite movies of all time.
I missed most of those other ones you mentioned because I saw Back to the Future 7 times in the theater.
Like, in 40 years, I'll get to them. I'll have a podcast, and then we'll watch them later.
I know. I couldn't get enough. I wanted more. Wanted more of that car.
And people just don't. People who weren't alive at that time just will never understand, no matter how much you try and explain it to them, just how amazing things were. Just the fact that you could have that many amazing movies all coming out at the same time. It was just, gosh,
insane.
Again, if you weren't alive, you'll never understand it.
That was me.
Alive at that time.
I was not alive at that time. That's okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. No, it's fine. I accept your apology. It's fine.
I forget that you're younger. Sorry.
He's an old soul though, because he celebrates all this good stuff, Yeah.
Hey, sorry. I see you as my equal, and then I offended you more because now I just said you're an old man, basically.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You can't win.
Jesus.
I'm either too young to have had cool experiences at theaters, or I'm an old man. Okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna put this mask of Pee Wee Herman here in my place, and I'm just gonna walk away. Yeah.
All right. So before we get to our ratings of The Compleat Al, there wasn't a lot of reviews on Letterboxd. Do you know about Letterboxd, Kurt? Have you ever heard of it? The app?
No.
Okay, so it's an app where you can log your movies and you can rate them. I love it. It helps me, keep track of everything that I've watched throughout the year. But if you go and read people's reviews, people write very specific, funny reviews for these movies. So I like to pull some of the Letterboxd reviews for all the films we're covering on the show. So here are just a few Letterboxd reviews for The Compleat Al. Allison says, "The Compleat Al walked so weird the Al Yankovic story could fly." 3.5 stars. Jareditary says, "I was so stupid as a kid. I thought all of this was true." 4 stars.
Yeah, for sure.
Which we talked about.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then I like this one. This is Sean says, "Makes me nostalgic for Al's hand fart era," which was, I read that and I was like, oh yeah, he doesn't really do that anymore. In his early songs, you heard all those little hand farts, and he doesn't really do that anymore. But so I feel the same way. Sean. I am also nostalgic for Weird Al's hand fart era.
Brandon, before we get off of Letterboxd, I was watching the morning show the other day, and they made a reference in the show. They made a reference. Yeah, he's the main guy is working on a movie studio a lot, and he said, "Blah blah blah. Just go sit down and scroll your Letterboxd."
That's funny.
Pretty funny. Yeah, made me think of you, obviously.
Yeah, I love it. I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and he's a big movie fan. In fact, I think I'm going to have him on the show some point in the summer. And I was like, "Hey, are you on Letterboxd?" Because I was like, I don't follow him. He's one of my friends, and I've never read any of his reviews or anything. And he's like, He's like, no, I can't do Letterboxd. I was like, why? He's like, because I would not be able to control myself. And it's true. Like I find
No
myself,
filter.
I just go on Letterboxd to like see what people that I'm, because you can follow people. It's social media light. So you follow people and you can see what they're watching and their reviews and their ratings. And I'll be like, I wonder if anybody's reviewed anything. Maybe it's not a thing I've seen, but I just like to read their reviews and, see what my friends are watching. But yeah, my friend Dylan, he was like, I know myself. I know how invested I would get. And I was like, yeah, I'm pretty addicted to it. But it's fun. I like it. And it's not as bad as any other social media stuff. It's not yet. All right. So do you want me to go first, Jay? Or do you? Yeah. Okay. So
mine's easy.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to rate these films out of 5 stars because that's what Letterboxd does. I really like The Compleat Al. I think there is good bits in it. Upon rewatching it, I do think that it is maybe a little bit long. I think it might overstay its welcome a bit, and that's why I'm so curious about the 60-minute version. Does it feel significantly like it's missing bits, or is it a tighter, faster paced show? So for me, I am going to give it 3 stars and a heart. Now, the heart is very important because the quality of something doesn't mean that I don't love it or enjoy it. Now, the reason I'm giving it 3 stars is because we've sort of talked about it, but I think that the Al Yankovic story, the Daniel Radcliffe version, goes harder and plays more with the genre of biopic, and really plays up the humor. And then on top of that, just to say it, UHF is a 5-star movie for me. This is one of the most important movies of my life. I love this movie. I could watch this movie every single day. So I'm just thinking in terms of like my favorite Weird Al, movies, we'll say. The Compleat Al is not the one that I'm gonna want to put on every single time. I loved getting to watch it again for this show, but if I'm having the itch, the crave for Al, I'm putting on UHF. And then when I'm like, I want to revisit the Daniel Radcliffe. So that's really the only reason, per se, the pacing, and then just comparing it to the other things that I love a little bit more. That's why I'm hitting it with the 3 stars.
Nice. Kurt.
Jay, do you want to go in the middle?
No, I think I should go last.
Go, please. No, I think you should go. I'm sure your review is going to be very high.
No, it's not. It's everything we said before. And then, I didn't, because I think I am probably a fan of Weird Al. I don't want to say anything badly about it. So I kind of figured out a loophole here of, one, this was never a movie. This was never put out by or rated by the Motion Picture Association of America. It was actually a TV thing, not even on broadcast, but actually Showtime paid premium cable. So I think I'm going to abstain and say 0 stars, no rating.
You can't do that.
Why not?
Because I have to average out all the ratings at the end of this so we know.
Right. And you've got you guys, right? Or would you, because I don't, or would it be, am I taking it down?
I think you're taking it down.
But isn't that how I feel?
But I think,
I get,
so it has to be, 1 to 5. It can't be 0.
I will not be offended if you give this whatever star rating. I
thought I was onto something here. I thought I was all clever by going no stars.
I'm not gonna let you do that. We need it anywhere from I regret saying this, but anywhere from a half a star to a full 5 stars. I think that's what we need.
Well, then I guess it would be half, no?
I mean, I guess so, but I wouldn't do that. I feel like I should abstain. What if I wasn't here tonight? I don't feel good. Excuse me.
Then I would hound you for your rating after the fact.
Well, shit. That's the thing. I don't want to shit on it, but I don't think it's very good. I
but I
think
don't care. Like, you
I
can't.
mean, that's your opinion. That's
It's
fine.
your opinion. The reason we have this show is your opinion as well. Your opinion is just as
know.
important as our opinions.
I don't.
And-
I see. In this particular case, I don't know if I agree with you. I don't feel like I'm educated enough on the subject. I barely watched the thing today because it kept not holding my attention. I mean, obviously watched it. I have notes, but
If you don't give us a rating, I'm gonna do the State of Shock thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
Give it to me good.
One
You
star.
know you should.
1 star, but
One star?
that feels wrong. Yeah, but I don't feel good about it. I felt great
No.
about no stars.
But it's not a
One-
half
hey.
a star, so that's a win in my book.
But it's
Yeah.
it's not accurate because I don't feel like I would. You know what I mean? Like boy.
But it's
But
just
I-
your opinion.
Brandon.
That's to you. It's a 1-star movie. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I don't even
don't see
mean
any
that.
problem with
I don't
that.
even mean that. I wouldn't rate it. That's
All
what
right.
that's the truth.
But it needs
All right.
a rating for how this has to work. It needs a rating. So
1 star.
it can't be 0.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
1 star. All
I
right.
feel terrible
so
about that
mine-
though. I don't feel good
No,
about
don't.
that.
I'm not going to think of you.
It doesn't
any
even feel
different.
honest. I just can't, in good conscience, give it more than that because I don't know that. I mean, I get the big swing, but it's not. It doesn't even really qualify for this show. It shouldn't get a rating. You
But it
guys
is
shouldn't
a-
give it ratings either.
All right, now
Now that we're
you're
doing
getting
that.
crazy.
All right, so my rating is very boring, and but this really is what it would have been. It's boring because it's exactly the same as yours, Brandon, for the same reasons too. I love the movie probably a lot because of the nostalgia that it makes me feel watching it when I was a kid, when it first came out, watching it so many times when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure that's where I first got introduced to Dare to Be Stupid, and so it holds a special place in my heart. But I definitely feel like it drops off in the middle and towards the end, and it kind of lags a little bit, and it's funny because Jay, you were saying that you really loved the Al TV stuff. Like you thought that was funny, unless you were being sarcastic.
No, I meant it. I just
Come on.
it was
Okay.
it was
ABBA
more.
and Costello.
That was
that's
funny.
A great joke.
Oh,
Yeah,
and then
no, and here's the
they
thing,
couldn't decide
too.
who would go on first. Yeah, who was
Yes.
on first?
Because
Yeah.
no, that is good. But the thing too is later, like in the '90s, he did a bunch of the Al TV takeovers, and I recorded those. I watched those, and they were hilarious. But for some reason, in Complete Al, like some of that kind of drags for me. It has
Yeah.
funny stuff, but it kind of drags, and it's kind of like, okay,
It also just
let's-
turns into
let's
like a
move along
clip
here.
show at that point, right?
Ye-
Like
right.
I, as
right.
a fan, know that was created for something else, and you're just kind of putting
There you
it
go.
in to
Throwing it
pad
in to-
out
yeah.
That would
this
irritate
home
the shit
video
out of me.
release.
Half
right?
a star. I'm downgrading to half a star.
Which is
Oh,
probably another reason why you were saying you have a feeling that the original 60-minute probably didn't have that Al TV stuff, and that right there backs it up. They probably, when they were releasing it on DVD, just needed something. They wanted something
Yeah.
to make it longer,
A
make
home,
it
yeah, it
more
needs
like
to be a home video release. It needs to be
Yeah.
worth the $39.98 in 1985 that it cost,
Right.
right?
Yeah, sorry, not even the DVD, but yeah, the
Yeah.
the home video release.
The
So they
VHS,
had
the
to throw in
Laserdisc.
that. Yeah. Yeah. So they had to throw in extra stuff. But so, anyways, I love it for nostalgia reasons. For the fact that I love Al, it's got great songs. It has a lot of really funny jokes. It does slow down and kind of drag in certain parts, and so I would probably give it a 3 as well. And I would obviously UHF is. Like, they're not even in the same universe,
Totally.
UHS. Yeah, it's
That's
just,
a movie. That's a real movie. That one's
It's
a
a
real.
that's a real movie that
Yeah.
is hilarious, a hilarious movie. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to give it a 3 as well, and it's not at all to talk badly about Al or anything.
No,
It's just,
and I'm coming from it similar to you, like massive
Yeah.
lifelong Weird Al fan. I just don't think it's the best thing he's
Sure.
ever put out. And I
Right.
think
Yeah.
for a career that's 40 plus years long with 14 studio albums, 3 movies technically, like
Yeah.
not everything's gonna be my favorite thing or the best thing, right?
Right.
And we chose this because of 1985, not because this was the one we wanted to talk about.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. If this was ABY 89, it'd be a different story. We'd be talking
Totally.
Ghostbusters 2 and UHF and
Yes.
Last Crusade, right? It'd be
Oh my
completely
God,
different.
dude! Is that the idea? Did we just pitch the second season?
No, it's not. I want to. I have.
I know we
ideas.
need to talk about it still. I do too. I can't wait to talk about it.
We didn't talk about this, but this is another. I just want to show this. This is the Weird Al show. So this was his. This was a TV show he had, has like animated sequences in it. Harvey the Wonder Hamster, who makes an appearance in The Complete Al, is a character. What is this?
This seems like a good use of his talents to me. I thought sketch comedy should have been what he was like. I always thought he should have had his own show. It
It's a
seemed like
great
with
show.
all that MTV stuff, like, why don't they just give him his own show? Like, does he not
Yeah.
want it?
You know, and he like there's some really like I just love the toast burnt with Al on it and writing TV and squeezed cheese. He like
Yeah.
he loves eating weird things. It's a thing that he does in a lot of his movies. You know, he like
Yeah.
makes a gross item and then and eats it for us to enjoy him eating the weird thing. Twinkie
Like,
Wiener
Have you
sandwich.
have you had a Twinkie Wiener sandwich?
No, I've never eaten a Twinkie Wiener sandwich.
So we had to do it. My son
Yes,
and I did it.
in
We
your
made a
video,
video.
yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We did it in the UHF video,
In
right?
the UHF
That's
video,
right.
yes.
Yeah, I couldn't remember where I knew we did it in a video. Yeah, I was not looking forward to it, and it was surprisingly not bad.
Yeah.
Thank
I
God.
was really shocked. Yeah.
A Twinkie cut open with a hot dog in it and
Oh!
easy cheese on top. It's a Twinkie
Yeah.
Wiener sandwich.
Yeah. We're vegetarian, so we used veggie dogs, but yeah, I was surprised. It was the whole. I'm a real big fan of salty and sweet, and that's what
Yeah.
you got going on with this. It's the salty
But
and
what-
sweet. And
What you're
wasn't
describing
bad.
sounds like that Friends episode where they screw up the dessert and it's half dessert and half meat, shepherd's pie.
Oh, I haven't seen
You don't
that.
remember that one? All right.
No.
Too
Yeah,
old.
I never really
not
a big Friends
not a
fan.
Friends guy.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
neither.
Oh, hilarious. The thing about Weird Al that you guys keep bringing up, especially with the food stuff, is, and this is where the Pee Wee parallel comes in, is he strikes me as a grown-up kid. Like he's a grown-up in his body, but everything in his life, he sees the world as a kid
Right.
does.
Oh, totally.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe that's perhaps also what was so appealing to our generation.
Probably.
Hey.
Yeah.
I thought I had written down. Oh, I wrote down the ingredients to his sandwich in the Al TV bit in this. It's strawberry ice cream, hot dogs, and Twinkies. So it's very close to the Twinkie Wiener sandwich.
Yeah.
But I always love that he eats it. We always see he makes something gross and then he eats it.
Yep.
He's the best. He's the best. I forgot one of the most important things. I can't believe that I didn't say this at the top of the show. So, as people may have noticed, the title is The Compleat, Compleat, which at first you may think, oh, that's a joke for Eat It, his biggest song. What do you got written there, Jay?
Complete. Spelled incorrectly.
So I've always just sort of assumed like that's what it is. It's a reference to the song Eat It, Complete Al, the Eat It music videos in there. It actually is a reference to this 1983, I believe, 1982 Beatles documentary, which is titled The Complete Beatles.
Had no idea.
So this is what the title is in reference to. This random
Wow.
Beatles documentary from 1982.
And even that title is playing on the Beatles, B-E-A-T instead
Yes,
of
the
B-E-E-T.
beat. Yes, beat, like beat of a drum, right?
Yeah.
The complete.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was something that
Cool
I
origin
learned.
story. Nice job. That's cool.
So much. I learned so much.
And what's funny about that is that was my big fun fact that I learned about for this episode, and I completely forgot to mention it until 2 hours and 40 minutes into the episode.
Yeah. What can you do?
I'm pretty good at doing this, okay? I'm getting this down. 35 episodes in, I'm getting it down. I think that's pretty much it. Weird Al Yankovic has won 5 Grammys. He's in every single Naked Gun movie. He has a cameo, including the new one.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes. Yeah.
I tried to put it on again. I couldn't do it. Just can't do it. There's a couple movies I just can't get past the opening scenes.
I love it so much.
Grease was another one, by the way. You told me to watch Grease, and I tried it. I couldn't get past the opening scene. I know. I think if I fast forward past the opening scene, so my issue with Grease. No, literally the opening when they're playing a song. They're playing a song that is not from the 50s or 60s or whatever this show is trying. It sounds like a modern song.
The title track, "Grease is the Word" by Barry Gibb.
Yeah, and I cannot get on board. I think it's as a creative, I think it's one of the worst choices you could possibly make, and I don't understand it. I'm like, why is this track the theme to this movie that takes place in the 50s? It should be a period song, no?
Because it came out in 1978, and they're trying to get people all hyped.
I know, but it's not Saturday Night
Barry
Fever
Gibb wanted to
3.
sell records.
I know. All right. Well,
see, I feel that way. I feel that way about Dirty Dancing. I love Dirty Dancing, but there's, I believe, 2 modern songs. Is it just? I think it's 2 modern songs in Dirty Dancing, and one of them stands out so bad. And every time that scene comes on, it bothers me so much. But the Grease one never bothered me. But
okay.
Well, but I know what you're saying because of the Dirty Dancing.
I'm expecting like some doo-wop or something because of the visuals, and it's not.
Sure.
But I mean, Grease is a musical, so the musical songs that they're performing in the movie are not 50s songs either.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not like it's not trying to be realistic, but I understand where you're coming from. I think the song rules. So when I put on Grease, I'm excited to hear Grease is the Word. I like the animated sequence, and I like that song a lot.
Me too.
We were talking to somebody else who felt the same way you guys do the night on the show. Oh well, I'll try it again.
You just hit the next
skip forward
button. Skip forward. Yeah. It's just the credits. It's just the song, and then you're right into the beach with Sandy and Danny.
You know you're the one that I love and all that. How it closes. You know the end of it. I'm like, that's all good. That's all great. I got no issues with this.
Actually, I'm too picky. The beach is before the title track, isn't it? So did you somehow skip the beach?
I don't remember what happens at the beach.
And then the title track.
Oh, is that what it is?
It's Danny and Sandy at the beach, and then it goes to the title track.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. They're out at Point Doom, right? At Zuma Beach. Yeah, you're right. I do remember that. You're right. Yeah.
No, wait. I think they're at Leo Carrillo.
Oh, like Daniel LaRusso and what's her face?
Yeah, Karate Kid. Yeah.
Allie. Yeah. Okay. I'll try it again. I'm sorry. Another thread jack here at the end.
No, it's fine. Like if you don't get around to watching Grease, I think you'll be fine.
I grew up watching it. It was on television all the time when I was a kid. I just haven't seen it in so long.
Oh, I see.
You know, as an adult, I don't have the adult eyes. When I was a kid, it looked like the parts of Back to the Future. So I was like, "Ooh, look at this!" But it's obviously quite different. Why are we talking about this? I'm sorry I brought it up.
Yeah, this isn't Blockbuster Year 1978. Okay, we'll get there. Well, okay. So next week, we are going to be joined by Scott on tape.
Oh no.
Yes,
did I say that out loud? Sorry, Scott.
I'm telling him
I'm
you
just
said
kidding. I love Scott. I was just talking to him yesterday. Just kidding,
and
Scott.
we are going to be covering St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, wow. This will be
The-
my first viewing.
Me too. I've never seen it. Pseudo sequel to the Breakfast Club, only in terms of Judd.
Cast.
Yes, Judd Nelson is in it. Ali Sheedy, Emilio Estevez. They're all in this movie, along with who we got: Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy, Andy McDowell, who I love from one of my
me too.
favorite Albert Brooks movies, The Muse.
Love it. Love it, love it.
So I'm very excited to get into that. Breakfast Club is one of my favorite movies, so we'll see how it compares. And we'll be talking about it with Scott on Tape next week.
I was about to give my opinion, and then I realized I'm not Scott on Tape, so I will give.
I would love to hear your opinion, because we've never.
No, because I don't want to ruin it before. Neither of you have ever seen it.
Never gotten around to it. I just bought this DVD. I bought this DVD from the thrift store when we started doing the show, because I was like, oh, I've never seen that. We'll eventually get to it.
Yep.
Well, I'll just say this, and this is definitely not the popular opinion. It is not my favorite Brat Pack movie, but I know that people love that movie.
This is what I've heard. Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard both sides. I've heard I love St. Elmo's Fire. It's one of my favorites, and I've heard like not for me.
Yeah.
I'm
kind of in between.
I'm just making this connection right now, and it's making me very excited. Directed by Joel Schumacher.
What?
Director of half of the Batman movies, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. So I cannot wait. I'm actually more excited to talk about Joel Schumacher next week than anything that St. Elmo's Fire could do.
If I ever host a panel with Joel Schumacher, I am straight up introducing him that way. And now the director of half the Batman movies. The other half.
The other half. The latter half. Thank you, Kurt, for joining us and talking Al.
Yes.
I highly
Thank you
recommend
very much.
You have to follow Kurt on YouTube, 80s Life. He does an incredible job at filming location videos.
Oh, thank you.
In fact, I told you this, Kurt, but the first day that I met you was at Whittier High School. You were working hard. You were doing your Back to the Future filming locations. And I remember Adam telling me, like, Kurt's awesome. He makes great videos. He's a great guy. So that was my introduction to you first. And then I didn't really get to sort of hang out with you until after we lost Adam. But he speaks true. You're a great guy, and you make really, really great videos. So check out Kurt, 80s Life.
Thank you so much.
That was awesome.
Thank you. I don't know what to say. You got me kind of. You kind of choked me up there a little bit with complimenting me and bringing up Adam complimenting me. Kind of. Yeah. Caught me off guard there.
He's come up.
He's
on
the tie that binds.
Well, and I don't even know if you know this, Kurt, but the only reason Jay and I are friends is because Adam put us together. Much like many other people, we were in Astoria, and Adam mutually on separate days to each of us was like, "Hey, you got to go and you got to meet this Jay Ryan guy, and you got to meet this Brandon guy. I think you guys would get along." And
that's cool.
So he's very important in big part of all of our lives, and we miss him a lot. He comes up almost every episode.
Yeah, it's hard not to. This wouldn't exist. This wouldn't exist without him. And so many of my friends that are in our circle, contemporaries these days, I wouldn't have known without him. It's wild. And the last time that we saw you was at the memorial here in LA. So
I got the button here, so we'll throw that in.
Nice.
Circle of good.
Nice.
Adam. Oh man.
Kurt, where in LA are you about? Can you tell me about without saying you're?
South Bay.
Okay. If you ever, I'm right by Universal Studios, but would love to have you on the playset sometime too, if you feel like it.
Awesome. Yeah. definitely. I'm in the valley like every other day almost, doing filming, doing something. So
Yeah.
Then we should be able to put that together. Thanks, man.
absolutely.
And thanks for
Yes.
doing
No,
this.
thank you. No, thank you.
Sorry to book another podcast, Brandon. It just occurred to me. I'm sorry,
No,
that was rude.
No, it's not. It's not rude. I mean,
Okay.
Jay has a great show. He sits behind David Letterman's actual desk, so it's freaking cool.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, speaking
Yeah,
of that,
let's make that happen.
Jay Ryan, where can people find you?
Thank you so much, Brandon. Instagram's Porsche Life 111. If you like late night talk shows or podcasts about them, it's Late Night Playset. Most places. And if you like cars in LA, Good Vibes Breakfast Club. Obviously, please follow this channel, A Blockbuster Year, or A Blockbuster Year on Instagram or Facebook. I love doing the show with Brandon. I want to keep up with that. Brandon, I'm doing a ton of things behind the scenes, but I don't think a couple weeks we'll be able to announce some of that stuff. In the meantime, just every Tuesday 5, every Wednesday at 6.
Yeah. And
how about you, Brandon?
Well, before I plug, I didn't give Kurt a chance to plug anything else that he wanted to plug. I talked about the YouTube channel, but where can people follow you as well, Kurt?
Well, let's see. Tomorrow I got to go to Costco. I'll be there.
Which one? South Bay. Okay,
South
figure
Bay,
that
yeah,
out.
South Bay area.
Figure that out.
I hate that. No, I like to go to one really far from my house.
Okay.
So that the eggs will get warm. And and I got to pick up a few household items. So gonna have a busy day tomorrow. But yeah, no, Instagram, 80s Life Forever, and Instagram's a little different than the YouTube. Post a lot of like old 80s commercials and, clips from stuff there. And sometimes I post, stupid photos of me from the 80s, looking like an idiot when I was a kid. So some fun stuff on the Instagram, and that's 80s Life Forever. I just made a Facebook page the other day, and I was not doing Facebook anymore, and I made a Facebook page, and I'm not kidding. I made the Facebook page just because I knew that the Complete Al filming location video was going to be really hard to get views. So I looked on Facebook and saw that there was a Weird Al fan group on there, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make a Facebook page for 80s Life just so I can promote the Complete Al in there.
Hey, and go directly to the people. Smart way to do it.
Yeah, so I made the Facebook page, and the first thing I did was promote it in there. And the first comment was like, "Oh, I see you have 0 followers. Congratulations on your fake spam page." And then like no one paid attention. Yeah, they just thought I was phony because no one was following me yet. So that failed. But yeah, you can follow me on Facebook too, 80s Life.
I thought it was going to be a story of success. You're like,
totally.
No, complete failure. Complete failure.
Although I will say, you in your complete allocations video, you say you're happy for the 500 people that are going to watch this video, and you have surpassed 500 views, my friend.
Quite a bit. It did much better than 500, but compared to like some of the other filming locations, it didn't do great. But sure. I knew, I knew it. Yeah, I knew that was going to be the case. So
I loved it. Beside the connection to the show and all that kind of stuff, I really do love your videos. I've only found you recently since that the Back to the Future 40th Fan Week. But I have been going back and I've been watching your videos, and they are top notch.
Thank you.
You find some really, really great stuff, and you show it all so well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. And let me say really quick, the Complete Out, like I said, I expected that to not do well. The one that I was kind of bummed that I thought it was going to do really well, and it didn't, was you brought it up. You said it's linked here, was the video I did going to, I went to Weird Al's house, his childhood home, and then we drove all the way up to San Luis Obispo, and we went to his college, and we went into the bathroom where he recorded My Bologna.
Yeah, which has
And
the plaque.
yeah, it has a plaque. And I thought when we did that, like when I came up with the idea, like, let's go drive up to his college and see this. I'm like, this is cool. Like, no one's done this. And like, yeah, like I'm excited to do this. And when I put it together, I'm like, this came out great. Like, I think people are going to really dig this video. And it kind of just like did all right. And that was one of those ones. That's how it usually works. I've found with YouTube, like the videos that I think are going to do good are just kind of like, eh. And then the ones that I don't care about and I just kind of put out are like the ones that blow up. And I'm like, oh man.
Or what you're describing kills the creativity for me. It just kills my spirit because it happens every time.
Yeah. Or Kurt films a really cool video with this really cool van and then gets the video taken down because somebody has a door open while they're driving. Kurt
forgot about that.
Kurt made this awesome Teen Wolf location video when we had the van down there, and out of all the people that had posted videos, Kurt was the only video that got flagged, which sucks. I feel so bad. And we all assumed that it was because in the video, Robbie Retro is on top of the van on Bushnell Avenue.
Yeah.
But then I think when you re-uploaded the video, you said that it was actually flagged because the van has sliding doors, like any sort of utility, FedEx, UPS van, and was driving down the street with the door open. That's actually why it got flagged.
So when YouTube, so they send you an email saying there's your video was taken down because of dangerous content, and they say we've timestamped the content. They say, but there may be other dangerous content in here, but this is the main thing that we timestamped. This is like the main reason. And I didn't even click on it at first because I'm just like, well, it's obviously Robbie surfing on
the roof. Yeah.
Surfing on. Yeah. And then later when I went to go recut it, I looked and I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. It's when the van first drives by and it kind of looks like he's kind of partially standing up while he's driving and waving. And that was what they timestamped. And I couldn't believe it. But I went ahead. I knew that it was going to get, I knew that if they flagged it for that, they were eventually going to flag it for the surfing and everything else. So I cut it all. And yeah, let me just say that video was up for less than 24 hours. And in less than 24 hours, it already had 10,000 views, which is pretty good, especially for a video like that. Like usually my non-big filming location videos get, less views. And so 10,000 in less than 24 hours is pretty good. And that usually means it's going to do well. And they got flagged, it got taken down, and I had to cut out everything and re-uploaded it. And now in like the 2 months that it's been up, it like still hasn't hit 10,000. It's at like 9.8 or something. Like it just stalled out.
It's and that's the because it was on such a rise that when it got hit, in the AI whatever detector unit of YouTube, right? They could see the rise of this video and then it got flagged. Whereas it just sucks because it was a really great video.
Yeah, no, it was like really fun. I was like, I don't know what it was, but after I watched it, I even whenever I make a video, my wife and son are the first ones to see it. We watch it as a family before I make it live. And my wife when it was done, my wife was like, I couldn't stop smiling throughout that whole video. She said, I was just smiling the whole time. Like, what a fun, it was just so fun. You guys were all having so much fun together. Yeah. And that was what I felt like too. And I was really bummed that I had to butcher it and cut out, the funnest stuff.
So unfortunate. Yeah.
What can you do?
Wow. But we had the memories. We had a really great day, and we all had fun. So
absolutely,
and everybody else's videos were fine.
Yeah, I know. It's so stupid. Even my video. So.
I mean, well, no, I shouldn't say that. I was gonna say maybe because mine was getting. Yeah, never mind. I was gonna say because mine was getting more views, but I forgot how many people filmed. So that may not be true. I don't know how many views everyone else.
But that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because of it hitting the algorithm and getting that
Right.
10,000 views in the 24 hours,
Yep.
maybe that's what led it into a different channel to be reviewed by YouTube's
Right.
AI, whereas something with like a slower rise and a build might not get flagged because
Yep.
it's not, you know, it's
Yeah.
It's
the
not going to
beginning
the
stages
masses.
of viral, right? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah.
I also
You're
think
onto
that my
something there, Brandon.
video, I also think that because of how many views it got in such a short amount of time, more people, it was, you know, the way the algorithm works, it was getting shot out to more people. And I think, I personally think that someone who lives in that neighborhood complained, because I actually did within the first hour get an email from someone who lived in that neighborhood, saying, "Hey, I'm a fan. I've been following you for a very long time. I live 2 streets over from Bushnell." And he's like, "I'm not emailing you to complain. I think it's awesome what you guys did, but I'm just telling you, someone is going to complain. Like, the people who live around here are very like that." And he's like, he's like, "Just be careful. Like, someone is going to report this video." And he's like, "But again, I love it. I'm just letting you know." And
That's
I
interesting.
personally think that's what happened. I think someone in the neighborhood or in Pasadena in general saw
Reported
it
it.
and reported it. So
Yeah.
Then the flag is
irony,
raised.
the irony is
Yeah.
the when we were doing the corner, we didn't know this when we set up there, but the police station is right there, just around the other side of the block. And so we were driving this big green van with a big wolf logo on it around and around and around, and we were like, "There's a ton of police officers." Oh yeah, it's because the police station's right there.
That's
But
funny.
we
And
didn't.
then
We weren't doing anything illegal.
driving, me driving my car, blasting my music, and
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
didn't realize the police station was there.
Kurt, is there any chance you might join us up in Astoria in June?
I don't think I can make it during the celebration. Yeah,
Okay.
I do want to head up there this summer, but I don't think during that time.
Gotcha.
Because it's
Fair
the
enough.
beginning. It's like the weekend of the 7th. No, is that?
Yeah,
the
there's
first
events
weekend of
4th,
June.
5th, 6th, 7th. Yeah, exactly. And shameless plug, one more, I guess, if you haven't gotten your tickets already. Short Circuit 40, come on out. I'll be moderating panels, and there's a lot of cool stuff that they have planned. Johnny Fives, real actual Johnny Fives from the movie coming out of the archive, stuff like that. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Obviously, Ali
gonna be
Sheedy
amazing.
and Steve Gutenberg and the director, John Badham, and stuff. Should be fun. So I'm excited to be a part of it this year. Can't wait to see all my friends up there, and then Kurt some other time.
Well, I think that's it. You can follow.
How do we follow
me.
you, Brandon?
Yeah. BC DeLorean, if you're into movie cars and props. We got a big garage
And set
renovation
building
going on right now. Yeah, I think I have a video coming out tomorrow morning. The next step of my Doc Brown clock wall recreation that I'm working on. We've got a blockbuster video. I just revealed that's what we're building. So we've got
Nice
our own
tease.
blockbuster video we're building, which I'm really looking forward to. So follow.
Did you make
BC
those shelves, or did you buy those actual? Those look like the actual blockbuster shelves.
We had them custom made. A company
done.
out here, Pinnacle Custom Cabinets. My dad happens to be one of the partners in that company, so we designed them.
Well done.
We designed them, and then they built them professionally for us. So I'm really excited. We designed a front counter, which will be coming soon, which will look just like the old blockbuster front counters, where it was like they had like a weird like raised block on top of the counter, so like the employee would be down on like desk level with the computer, and then you'd like put your movies up on the top of the counter. So we've recreated that. But yeah, we made custom shelves that look like the old blockbuster shelves. The only difference is our shelves are flat as opposed to angled.
Yeah.
And it's only because we think we might have to, more than movies, might have to go on those shelves. We might have to put our little collectibles. We're really all figuring out this display as we're building it. But we made.
Are you going to do the mirrors up along the ceiling where all the cameras were hidden? You know that the soffit had all those mirrors.
Probably not, because we have so many things we have to display.
Yeah,
Like
you need your wall space.
We need wall space. We're gonna have a bunch of shelves around, like, because that hallway turns into our bike collection. So there'll be lots of little collectibles and stuff all around the bikes. But yeah, so follow BC DeLorean for all the updates on that.
Super cool.
And then, like you said, follow A Blockbuster Year. Subscribe to the channel. We do this live every Wednesday, 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We have an Instagram. We do have a Facebook page. Not to brag, Kurt. Next week,
you got people that follow your page.
Yep, we got a couple of them on there. We're no scam page. Next week, Scott on Tape will be joining us for St. Elmo's Fire. Thank you again, Kurt, for being here. Thank you, Jay. Love doing the show.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
We love you, Kurt. Watching. We love you. Thank you for doing this. I love you,
you guys. Thank
listening.
You, man.
We
Had
love
a blast.
you. Thank you, Kurt. I've had so much fun hanging out with you the couple of times. You're the best.
Oh man, yeah, I can't wait for us to all be together again.
Yeah. Well, anytime you want to come up to Canada, you're welcome. Come hang out at
Hopefully
the garage.
Soon. Hopefully soon. We talk about it all the time. So
yep. Anytime. All right. I think that's it. You did 3 hours, Kurt. Look at that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Part of the 3 hour.
Bravo. Bravo.
I'm tired. I'm ready to go have a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And preview tomorrow's video.
Ooh. Can you
with the family?
Can you tease what
it is? Got a plug?
Yeah, I'll say it. It's a Chips video.
Oh yeah.
People.
Wait a second.
People. I've got a little following for my Chips videos, so it's a new Chips video. Yeah.
Kurt, can I ask one more thing? Brandon, do we have one more second for this last thing?
Hey, you have as many seconds as you want. It's your show too.
So I love that show growing up.
My tea's getting cold. What? No, okay, go.
This will be real quick, and it's Chips related. I love that show growing up, and I went online once to see if anybody knew where the opening shot when they're looking down on the motorcycles and the motorcycles are getting onto the freeway, that twisty kind of a shot. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody online seems to think that's out in Simi Valley for some reason, and it's been revamped since. And I said, that's not true. And I know where it really is, and I want to make sure you do. And if not, I want to make sure that I tell you off the air so that you can do a video on it, or somebody can.
Well, I believe I know where it is. I've never recreated the opening credits, but I keep meaning to. I keep thinking, you know what? I need to, why have I never thrown in the opening credits to this? But I'm pretty positive I know where it is, and it's not Simi Valley unless I'm
not even close.
It's in downtown LA, correct?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And I mean, I know. Yeah. I can't.
And it's remarkably unchanged. It's totally unchanged from, other than the streetlights are on the opposite side. The storm grates are in the same place. Everything is identical. And because it's a down shot, I always wanted to recreate it with Yellow Car, with a drone.
All right. Should do it. Maybe
when I go recreate it.
Yeah, maybe when I create it, we can do it that way.
Please. I'd love to collab with you.
Yeah.
That'd be
anyway,
cool.
thank you. Thank you for that. Sorry.
Well, watch out for Kurt's Chips video tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm in. Can't wait.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for watching.
We love
you for listening.
Good night.
We'll see you next week. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.